What is up and what's going on, fellow fanatics? Appreciate every single one of you guys being here this morning. It is a morning stream, which is a little weird, probably for some of you. Uh, Weird for me to be here in the morning. I don't normally do the morning streams, but we're doing a morning stream today because Oklahoma can't make up its mind on its weather. So one day it is 80, the next day it is below zero, the next day it's snowing, the next day it's all types of shit. So, yeah, being in Oklahoma dictates, I guess, when I'm going to stream. But no, normally our streams are going to be in the evening, but today we're going to stream this morning and go over some of the things that I didn't get to go over yesterday because I did not stream yesterday. And then, of course, Friday, or Thursday, I'm sorry. No, Friday. Friday's stream was missed as well. So, again, appreciate everybody coming in. I see everybody in there. JD75, appreciate you being here. Zen, appreciate you. Chi-Town, Chill, Eli, Ricardo Woods, appreciate you guys being here. Chill, I don't understand the Johnny Depp with the question mark, but appreciate everybody being here. Ricardo said, I drove from OKC to Norman, and oh boy, bro. So is it bad out there, Ricardo? Like bad? Because I was going to go to Norman a little later to do some things, but if it's, well, after the stream, I was going to go to Norman, but if it's bad out there, then probably not. Says the highways ain't it right now, especially driving a Mustang. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, shit. Let me stay home, I guess. And again, why we're streaming this morning and not later in the evening, because I'm home. There's nothing else going on. So, damn, you couldn't go past 30 or 40 miles per hour. I saw some things posted online about people crashing. I saw the big semi turned horizontally on the highway. Yeah, so I've seen some of it. That's crazy. I'm sick of the weather, though. So if you live in Oklahoma, you know that the weather right now is pretty shit. But the news and topics aren't that shit. Some of the stuff is shit. Some of the stuff is not shit. But we're going to get into a lot of it and talk about some of it. So some things we're going to talk about today. There was one of the things on the list that we're going to nix as actually, and it was going to be the HBO. Game of Thrones is doing so many different spinoffs. We got the Knights of Seven Kingdoms, which I'm actually really excited for. That comes out this year. It's following Sir Dunk the Tall and Egg. Egg is Aegon, one of the Targaryen. Egg becomes king. It's a whole thing. But I think the spinoff that they're doing is going to cover maybe the Blackfire Rebellion. And that would be really cool because it's supposed to be a Targaryen-based show in the next really big event outside of the Song of Ice and Fire for the Targaryen family is the Blackfire Rebellion. That is where a lot of the bastardized Targaryens fell under the House Blackfire, which obviously doesn't exist anymore once we get to Daenerys and everybody, because Blackfire was extinguished during the Blackfire Rebellion. There were several different rebellions, but they were extinguished. So I think that's what they're going to go over. So a little TLDR on that. We're just not going to go over that one. But I think that is what they're going to do. So once some more information comes out on that, then we'll go over that one. But other than that, we'll get into Johnny Depp seemingly, possibly coming back for Pirates of the Caribbean 6. And not just him, but Orlando Bloom coming back as well. And I guess it would be a pairing with Margot Robbie. If you remember, we discussed that Margot Robbie was in talks a while ago to take over for Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp was not going to come back for Pirates 6. So I guess that they are going to still keep that plan of having Margot Robbie there. But if the money is right and whatever they're throwing at Johnny Depp to get him to come back to Disney, he will be joining Margot Robbie as well. We're also going to discuss what Jeff Snyder said on the hot mic and how he said that Marvel, this whole thing about Marvel trying to wrap up Kang and what they're going to do with Kang and things like that. I personally, on the Kang train, I don't really give a damn anymore. I really don't. I stopped caring because it's all messy, especially if the whole plans to kill him off screen or what you're doing. I don't know. But we're going to get into what Jeff said, and we'll get into an article here on that. And then, of course, we are going to talk about Captain America Brave New World. I didn't get to give my review, which I will tell you guys why in just a second, but I didn't get to give my review because some shit went down at my house. But we're definitely going to talk about Brave New World. So on Friday, before we get into topics on Friday, once I got home, all of you guys know I have Capone. Capone is one of my dogs. He's my pit. And Capone is a full-blood American pit bull. And so he normally stays home T'Challa cannot stay home. T'Challa has separation anxiety, so he pisses the floor. He'll pace and tear shit up and cry and all types of stuff. So he goes with me whenever I leave for the day. So he'll come with me, do what I got to do, and then we normally get back. We normally leave the house about 6:30 in the morning. We normally get back about 1. Well, when we came back Friday evening, or Friday morning when we left, Capone, it was a typical morning. I told Capone, blah, 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 fed the cat, told Capone, watch the house, I'll be back. Once we got back that evening, I yelled for Capone, which is weird because normally he comes to the front door. He's meeting me at the front door when I come in. But when I came inside, he wasn't at the door, and I called his name, didn't come. I'm looking for him, and which is crazy. I'm looking around the house like, how the fuck do you misplace a pit bull? So I'm looking around the house for him, going through in all the rooms, like, where's Capone? Where's my dog? Blah blah blah. Checking outside, which is crazy because he was laying, I have a cat room, and he was laying in the cat's room on the couch, the little couch that's in their room. And so he was asleep when I left. So when I'm searching all over it, then it just dawns on me, like, it's crazy because I'm thinking, like, he can't open a damn door. He's not opening a window. He's not, he's a dog. How is he getting out of the house? There's no way for him to get out of the house. So the only thing that I could come up with is that somebody, as you all know, I have recently moved. Someone has been meticulously either watching me or watching my schedule or whatever. I have had so many people come up to me in my time owning Capone, no matter, even with him being 11 years or about to be 11 years old, asking me, oh my God, he's so beautiful. I've had people offer me money for Capone. I've had people ask me, could we breed Capone? I've had so many different things with Capone. And Capone is like about to be 11 in July. He's not a spring chicken. So what I think is that the people, whoever meticulously was watching my schedule and watching me, strictly wanted Capone and nothing else. Because whoever broke into my home on Friday, and when I say broke into my home, they must have come through a window because my front doors were locked, my back doors were locked, nothing else was misplaced. Everything was still in the same place I left it in except for Capone. So they must have, I'm sure, saw Capone from a distance, thought, oh, that's a damn good looking pit. He'd be great to breed or maybe to sell or whatever. Upon getting Capone and getting him outside of my house, realizing, oh, he's old. So do a little TLDR on Capone. I've had Capone since 2014. I handpicked him as soon as he came out. My cousin's pit litter that they had, he was the one I wanted. In the 10 years that I've had Capone, obviously with him being older, he is now blind in one eye. His back leg from the first time he got stolen from me is a little fucked. It's not fucked like that. He can walk on it, but he's not putting a whole bunch of weight and pressure on it like that. Within the past 2 weeks, he's had digestive issues, so he's had diarrhea and blowouts. He takes medication that he, with his food and things like that. So there's a lot of different things with Capone. I mean, he's still a very healthy boy. He still does, he's still getting around. He still does what he needs to do. He eats, sleeps, he plays, and all that kind of stuff. But I think they thought he was a young dog. I think they thought they were about to make some money off of him. And upon realizing that he was not a young dog, they just didn't give a fuck and just released him, just let him go and didn't care if what happened to him or not. So we were searching all day, and I had gotten to the point where I'd given up because I thought to myself, whoever has him, it's not giving him back. Whoever has my dog, has my dog with the intention of either selling him or whatever. And then, of course, all the other thoughts go through your mind of how is my dog being treated? Capone doesn't get along with other dogs like that. He's old. Do they know that? Do they have him outside? He's not an outside dog. What if he has a blowout with the diarrhea? Are they going to be upset with him? Are they going to hit my, there's so many different things that went through my mind of what the fuck could be happening with my dog. So as you guys know, I'm a very pragmatic individual. I look at things as they are. So I was like, I'm looking at the realization of the situation. I have moved to Oklahoma City. I don't know the fucking people up here. My dog is gone. I'm never going to see my dog again. So we had filed a police report, which, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is that going to do? Filing a police report because it's like, okay, sure. So we filed a police report, and then there's several pages on Facebook and things that some of you guys may know this because I'm sure your states have the same thing where you can post on post a picture of your dog lost and found or whatever, and the community will come together and help, find your dog. Well, the community came together here in Oklahoma City, and someone messaged me at like 1 a.m. and asked, is this your dog? Someone had posted a picture of him, and it was Capone, and they said they had found him, wandering one of the back service roads here, and he looked tired. He was completely dirty. So my only thought after that was, because, like I said, taking you back to the beginning of the story, there's no way he could have gotten out of my house. There's no way Capone's opening a door. There's no way he's opening a window. We don't have a doggy door. There's none of that shit. So somebody came into my house, meticulously took my dog. So after, again, realizing he wasn't young, just let him go. Or whatever they did with, I don't really know what they did with him. Just let him go. So went and picked him up that next morning, and he's home, and he's been, obviously, got a bath, fed, and all that kind of stuff. He slept the entire day once I got him back. Obviously, they didn't feed him either because he acted like he hadn't eaten. So, yeah, so that was my Friday. Friday was a hell of an experience for me. So I'm ready to move. I just moved, and I'm ready to move. I don't want to be here. Obviously, my lease is not up, but I have to be here for that 365, and I will be here just for that 365 because I did call my landlord, discussed with them, and told them what happened. I was like, I'm not, I'm not trying to be here. So yeah, and again, not a bad. I like my house. I'm to a degree. It's not necessarily where I want it to be. Is it bigger than my last house? Yes, that was the goal. Do I have some of the things I wanted in this house that I didn't have in my last house? Yes, that was the goal. But I would have preferred to stay in Norman, where I am from, where I lived. I live in the city now, which is about 30 minutes, depending on how you drive from Norman. So I'm not by my mother. I'm not by, I have friends up here in the city. I have people I know up here in the city. It's not like I don't have relatives or friends in the city. I do. My mother's in Norman. The bulk of my friends are in Norman. I grew up in Norman, and that is where I would have preferred to stay. And after this situation, that really was like, yeah, it's time to go the fuck back home. So yeah, that was Friday. That is why we did not stream, or I did not stream, but I do have Capone back, so all is somewhat good. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get into the actual news and things that are going on and hot topics and things like that. Really, truly, I really, really just wanted to kind of do Brave New World. I could have nixed everything else, but we're going to just kind of go over this really quickly. So, as I said at the very beginning with the Johnny Depp stuff, as we all know, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard had their huge ordeal, which had significance on Johnny Depp's working with Disney and everything else like that. Johnny obviously proven innocent in the situation and things like that, despite what your personal beliefs may be. And Johnny said he was not coming back to Disney. Said he wasn't going to do the Pirates 6 or anything like that. And I have since said and been saying, and I'm a big fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I love the first, second, and third. That fourth one's good too. The one with, I think that last one, I don't really care for. But I do love the Pirates franchise. I think Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp is insane. It's kind of like, again, like we talk about the Black Panther franchise without T'Challa. It's insane. I'm not going to go watch a Pirates of the Caribbean film without Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow in the film. And I don't, and at the time of Johnny Depp not coming back, they were talking about there were so many different rumors. There was the deal that they were going to do a younger Jack Sparrow, and it's going to be sort of like pre-film to everything that happened before meeting him in the first Pirates, and I didn't like that idea either. Then they were going to try to have somebody else come in and portray Johnny, and it might have been trying to exactly mimic what Jack Sparrow did, which would have made it gimmicky. A bunch of different things. So my whole thing was, if you didn't get Johnny Depp back, don't do Pirate 6. Like, it just doesn't make sense because it's going to be a waste of money. You're not going to make any money from this. People want to see Johnny Depp. People want to see Captain Jack Sparrow. Then they said that they were going to do a female version of Captain Jack Sparrow and Margot Robbie, and have her come in and have her, be some type of female that used to watch Jack and was inspired by Jack, and now she is Jack. Thank you so much, Michael Nemo, for that. Super, and I will get to that. For that, and everything like that. So, and we did a video on that, and I talked about how I didn't like that idea either. But now Johnny's talking about coming back, and it's not just him coming back. It'd be Orlando Bloom coming back as well. But, of course, still with the whole Margot Robbie deal that they're trying to do. So I don't know if it's still the whole premise of she's inspired by Jack, and now she's a pirate or whatever, but this is what the article had to say. So it's been a while since we got any substantial update on Disney's next planned installment in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. In fact, the last time Jerry Buckmeyer spoke to any of the trades about the film was this past December, and even then he said that the film could go in two possible directions. Speaking with Variety, the Hollywood producer said there were two alternate scripts for the next film in development. One that could bring Johnny Depp back, and I do remember them talking about that one, into the series, and another that would move in a different direction. I think that was the one with Margot Robbie. Then goes on to say Depp's involvement seems to be entirely dependent on whether he and Disney could reconcile after their highly publicized fallout following his defamation charge against Amber Heard. While it could be easier for Disney to move forward without the actor, I don't think so, where we at Disney Insider have received some information that suggests that he will be returning after all. Now, one source tells us that Walt Disney Studios is quietly gearing up to begin production on the next installment of the series, One Hollywood Soundstage, although there are no timeline for the production although there's no timeline when the production will officially begin, we have heard that this entry will feature the return of Depp. Unfortunately, we couldn't get any other details about the production, and we could not get a second source to verify this either. That is why we decided to run this bit of info as a rumor instead of an actual exclusive, for the reason, like every other rumor we run of the site, we also do want to urge readers to take it with a grain of salt, at least until after Disney or any major trades confirm or debunk it. So right now, it is just a rumor that he is going to be in the film, but I don't think it's so much a rumor as I don't really think it's a rumor. I think it's actually true because we've been hearing whispers. I haven't been talking about it here because, we don't normally talk Pirates of the Caribbean, but I do love Pirates. There have been other whispers about him coming back, especially when they talked to Orlando Bloom. There was an interview conducted with Orlando Bloom where he was asked about it, and they asked him about Johnny, and he kind of hinted at, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. A lot of these actors, of course, they know things. They're just not talking about things, and even Buckmeyer knows, but he's just not talking about it. Johnny Depp, I think, is signed on for Pirates 6, and I think that was the only way Disney found a way to make this work. The alternative route that they said they had, I think that they looked that thing up, down, left, and right and said that that's just not going to work. Margot Robbie led Pirates of the Caribbean film out of the, 5 Pirates of the Caribbean films that were led by Johnny Depp. Now you're going to have one led by Margot Robbie, who is a pirate that's inspired by Johnny Depp. That just simply wouldn't have worked. I don't think it would have went over well with fans. No matter what, the overall audience perception may be of Margot Robbie. She stars as Harley Quinn, stars and Barbie. My introduction to Margot Robbie was in The Wolf of Wall Street. So, she's become a very well-known actress. She was even rumored to be playing Sue Storm at one point in the Fantastic Four. So I still don't think, even with all of that under her belt, she would have been a headliner to put asses in the seats for Pirates 6. But they do mention her. And from here, it says in the 2020 report surfaced that Harley Quinn herself, Margot Robbie, would star as a female lead reboot from the Bumblebee writer, Christina Hudson. This project is not intended to be a spin-off, but a new story with a new character set in the Pirates universe. Despite rumors last year, the project was axed. Franchise producer Jerry Buckman dispelled that, saying, I think that script will come forward at a certain point. We developed 2 different stories for Pirates, and the other one's going forward first. So that's what we're working on to try to get that one made. So either Robbie's going to be in the film with Johnny in Pirates 6, or they're just going to do their own Margot Robbie deal and do a whole different story for Pirates and see how that launches. And again, even if it's a reboot and you're doing something different, even without Johnny, I just don't know that the appeal is even there. I don't know that the appeal is there without Jack Sparrow. I don't even know if the appeal, and this is just for me, I don't know if the appeal, now if you wanted to do a Barbossa deal, okay, you have my attention. You want to do a Barbossa film or something that follows Captain Barbossa? Sure. To me, that was the most interesting character outside of Jack that you could have done a spin-off or a separate story for. I don't even think you can do a separate story for William Turner, Will and Elizabeth. They're interesting characters, but they're interesting characters within the story of Jack. Alone, Will doesn't pull me into wanting to watch a story, and Elizabeth doesn't pull me into watching a story. Even when she became Pirate King in Pirates of the Caribbean 3, there's not enough there for me to want to watch Elizabeth. So I think if you're going to do a spinoff, you can do Barbossa or something like that. But a whole new rebooted thing where it's new pirates, we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. But you guys let me know what you think. Are you Pirates fans? Do you like the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise? Do you think it works without Johnny Depp? Or do you think Johnny Depp has to be there as Captain Jack Sparrow? And would you be interested in watching a Margot Robbie-led reboot of Pirates? All right, we'll move here to how Marvel is intending to get rid of Kang the Conqueror. So it was in 2023 that we were, or not 2023, it was in 2020. Was it 2020, 2021 when Loki season 1 came out and we were introduced to He Who Remains, Kang the Conqueror. And I have said many, many times that Jonathan Majors' performance of Kang the Conqueror in Loki season 1 as He Who Remains is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And and I say this all the time too, for everybody else out there that likes to make you think or make you try to believe Twitter that Jonathan Majors or that they were over Kang, nobody was interested in Kang, bullshit. Everybody was. As I say all the time, everybody was when Loki season 1 came out. Every single person was. And the interest even heightened at CinemaCon or whatever it was, where they showed the clip of Jonathan Majors speaking with Ant-Man, telling, Ant-Man, I'm going to kill Cassie and make you relive this situation over and over and over again. Which Avenger are you? I've killed so many. All the things, that we've talked about in terms of Kang the Conqueror and Jonathan Majors in the MCU. A major, again, no pun intended, major fumble by Marvel to not bring Jonathan Majors back. I don't know how Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 are going to do, and not trying to make this an Avengers 5, Avengers 6 conversation, but I do think that this plays a big role into this conversation. I think had you kept Kang the Conqueror, had you continued that story, had you really, I don't know, even brought the Russos back in to try to develop that story, if you would have developed Kang and really kept keeping on Jonathan Majors instead of fumbling that bag and getting rid of Majors over the guilty verdict, then you could have just developed that story and kept Jonathan Majors on. So with Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 with Johnny Depp, with Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Dr. Doom, I don't know how that works, and the reason I say I don't know how that works is because to this day, since that decision was made last year, fans are still split. The conversation online is still the same. People are still saying it's gimmicky. People are still saying it's lazy. There are people saying, oh, this is the best move that Marvel's made. Some people are saying, oh, this is going to be amazing. Everything like that, and everything in between. But the hype level is not the hype level we were at for Infinity War. The hype level is not the hype level we were at for Endgame. If you take yourself back to that, Avengers Doomsday comes out next year. So with Avengers Doomsday filming currently, Avengers Doomsday coming out next year, when we knew these things about Infinity War, when we found out Infinity War was filming, when we found out what Infinity War was about, when we found out how many days, weeks, months we were away from Infinity War, the hype level rose. It doubled, it quadrupled, especially if you take yourself again back to those theater days. I don't know if everybody saw Infinity War, with a big crowd, and Endgame with a big crowd. I did. I saw Infinity War with a big crowd. I saw Endgame with a big crowd. And to this day, even better than my Star Wars movie experiences, Infinity War and Endgame are the top movie theater experiences I've ever had as a moviegoer, seeing a Marvel film or any movie. In that hype level, that shared fandom is not there for Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. Yeah, people are excited somewhat. People are talking about it, but it's a lot of division. And of course, we know why. That's a whole nother conversation as far as the division and where fans currently are with Marvel, where Marvel currently is, opposed to where they were in 2018, opposed to where fans were in 2018, and all that. So all those things in between, there's lots. That's a whole nother conversation. But the hype level is still just not there. So with them killing off Kang, I think this also is going to rub a lot of fans the wrong way. I think this is also going to have a lot of fans calling Marvel lazy, because according to insider Jeff Snyder, and we've talked about this a lot outside of Jeff coming up and saying this, the rumor has always been that Marvel was just going to quietly kill Kang behind the scenes, and Dr. Doom was going to go in. Either we are going to see it in a post-credit scene, see it in a scene, hear about it, and not see it at all, but Doom is going to go in and decimate the Council of Kangs, is what we've heard. And I think that is the same thing that Jeff Snyder is saying here. So in this little quick article spot, he says that according to Jeff Snyder on the hot mic, Dr. Doom's involvement isn't just as another villain. He sees himself as a savior of the multiverse. Marvel's original plan was to have Kang as the MCU's next Thanos-level threat, spanning multiple films. This includes plans for Avengers: Kang's Dynasty and Secret Wars. However, after the lukewarm reception of the films with Kang, films with Kang, of the film with Kang that they botched, that they let Jeff Loveness completely botch that script, completely botch what the all of it, going, when you take yourself back to Quantumania, when you're in the quantum realm, and the quantum realm itself, the shit that was in the quantum realm, talking buildings, jelly filled creatures that could, like, the whole premise of Quantumania was awful. It was awful. So them letting Jeff Loveness do that was awful. Now the Kang stuff, Jonathan Majors as Kang is still phenomenal. Outside of getting beat by fucking hands, it's still phenomenal. But it goes on to say, film with Kang and his legal issues surrounding Jonathan Majors, the studio had to pivot. Instead of a Kang-centric saga, Marvel is shifting focus to Victor Von Doom. Now Snyder reveals that Doom will be the one to take down Kang and the Council of Kangs. This will bring an unexpected but fitting resolution to the multiverse chaos. I don't think it's fitting at all. I think what would be fitting, since you decided to shoehorn Doom in. Now, I'm going off of their plan. I'm not saying that this should be the plan, but now that you shoehorn Doom in, go ahead and keep Kang. Since we're doing the Battle World, we're doing Secret Wars, we know that there were several different villains that were in charge of several different fractions of Battle World. Do the same thing with Kang. Don't make Kang the main overarching villain. You can have him come in and maybe Doom's like, nah, this is my show or whatever, and now Kang is going to be one of those villains that's over one of the different parts of Battle World. I don't know, but it's just killing him off screen, having Doom come in and decimate the Council of Kangs. I really don't like that, but I get where they're going with this, because as you just said, as we just read there, Doom is going to be, just like in comics, Doom is going to be viewing himself as a savior of the multiverse. So going in and decimating the Council of Kangs and doing this and blah, 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 I'm sure it's going to set Doom up as this, again, savior of the world, and this and that, to where world leaders might be submissive to him, and different things like that. Because not only that, Doom, as we all know in comics, is a leader of a sovereign nation. So when the Avengers or anything interact with Doom in comics, it's a different interaction than the interaction with any other villain. He has diplomatic immunity, so there's a lot of, they can't always interact with Doom the way that they would interact with like Ultron or Thanos or something like that. So it's going to be, I see where they're going with it. I definitely see where they're going with it. Why they're trying to set him up as the savior, why they're trying to have him kill the villain that has caused so much chaos of the multiverse and things like that. I just don't simply like it. I think, again, the Doom stuff is rushed, but hey, we'll have to wait and see. Goes on to say, in one of the Avengers movies, probably Doomsday, I've heard that Dr. Doom could be the one who kills him. That makes sense, right? He said this shift is in focus, is a massive shakeup for the MCU. However, it aligns well with Doom's comic book history. Yeah, of course, aligns well with the history of Doom there. But this is what Jeff said exactly. And actually, this is a good point too, because we talked about this on the Pantheon last Thursday. But this is a point I don't know if I don't remember if we brought this up or not. This could have been Michael B. Jordan trying to lay the ground. I think Chill or Marcus might have brought it. I know I didn't. This might have been them laying the groundwork for Jonathan Majors, a possible return for Jonathan Majors to the MCU. Michael B. Jordan, Marvel, Disney. They love Michael B. Jordan. So I'm assuming if Michael B. Jordan's out there campaigning for Jonathan Majors, maybe that's, some breadcrumbs, some groundwork they're trying to lay to get this man back, just showing public acceptance. Like, this guy, I've got this guy's back. You guys have got my back. So maybe, I don't know. There was a good point made by Roka, though. Hmm.
A steady stream of indies.
Yeah.
And
My
have
bad.
them perform well and have him, either get good reviews or whatever, or the movie does well, and that's how you get back into the studio movies.
Okay.
I don't think that's out of the question, but that's not going to be the next movie that you see him sign on to.
Do you think Michael B. Jordan is, in a way, helping out his friend by doing this? Like, he doesn't have to comment on this.
I think first of all, he was asked a question, wasn't he?
Yes, but you're asked many questions in interviews. You can always turn down answering the question or have your publicist say to them, don't ask about Jonathan Majors, but they didn't. So he answered it.
Right. And he answered it honestly, like a friend would and should. I mean, that's his boy. He is proud of him. He is showing resilience, and but at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actions speak louder than words.
Right.
Michael B. Jordan's Outlier Society produces a lot of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Has Outlier Society cast Jonathan Majors in anything?
Not yet.
There you go. There's your answer.
But they might.
They could.
Yeah.
And that's how you'll know when his friends are ready to offer him roles again. Yeah. But I don't see that.
Okay.
And I don't think. Listen, sometimes you have to rely on the generosity of friends, like Mel Gibson did.
Yes.
But I think if you also really want to work your way back, you can't rely on the generosity of friends. It has to be other people.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, all
right.
Just wanted to ask about that. Let's move on to
in terms of Jonathan Majors, what they're doing to do with Kang. Do I absolutely believe that they're going to wrap the Kang storyline up in Avengers? I do. I believe that they will kill him in some way or whatever they're going to do with him. Is Jonathan Majors coming back to be killed? And then I don't think so. If I'm Jonathan Majors also, thank you, but fuck you. Or no thank you. I'm not coming back for you to have Robert Downey Jr. come in as Dr. Doom and kill my character that you had originally set up to be the overarching big bad of the multiversal saga. So to have Jonathan Majors come back in a role that would last, I don't know, maybe as long as the Hulk fight in Brave New World, maybe even less, to have Dr. Doom come in and decimate the Council of Kangs. You want me to reprise my role to die? I don't think so. So do I think that Jonathan Majors comes back in for that? No. If he has any self-respect, I don't think he does either. If that's just me, I would not. I'm not taking a role where you've previously fired me, but you want me to come back in and have your godfather of the MCU now come and kill me as a different character? Fuck you. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't do that. So do I think Jonathan Majors is going to do that? No. Would he? Maybe. I don't know. But do I think that Marvel's also going to bring him back for that? No, I don't. I think that whatever it is, it's going to be off screen. I don't even think that, and then maybe somebody else is being casted as him. If you remember last week, Coleman Domingo just said that he sat down with Kevin Feige and asked Kevin Feige if there were any proof to the rumors about him trying to come in as Kang, and seems to be there were truth to those rumors. So if it failed with Domingo, maybe they're looking at somebody else. Maybe they were also courting other people while courting Domingo. So who knows if they're trying to bring somebody else in as Kang? But I do strongly have been believing it is not going to be this man. It is not going to be Jonathan Majors coming back as Kang, as much as we all would love Jonathan Majors to come back as Kang, as much as we all would love him to have never gotten fired as Kang the Conqueror. I just don't simply see him coming back as Kang. I don't. Do I see the Kang storyline coming back and being wrapped up? Yes. I don't see Majors in that wrap up though, but we'll have to again wait to see. Just like everything else, they are currently filming, and I don't know. This is coming from Daniel RPK. He said that filming for Avengers Doomsday has been paused until April. We had just heard last week from trades and things like that, or not trades, from some of the trades that Hemsworth was spotted on set, and that Sebastian Stan was also spotted on set, and the Russos were obviously there. So. Are they filming? Have they paused filming? I don't know. But as soon as filming picks back up, or if it has even paused, the movie still comes out in 2026, the summer of 2026. So we're going to start hearing if Majors or if Kang, if this person, if that person is actually going to be in Avengers 5 or Avengers 6. We'll just have to wait and see. At this point, it's a waiting game. So anyway, that's that on that. Now, the main thing here that I want to move to is Captain America Brave New World. Now, as you all know, I went and saw Captain America Brave New. Now, for those of you that have not seen the film, this is a spoiler, a full out. This is the movie right here on screen. I'm going through the movie, kind of scene by scene here. We're gonna kind of break it down, talk about it, all that kind of stuff. So if you have not seen the movie, if you care to see the movie, this is not the part of the stream that you want to stay for, because again, I'm going to have the movie literally on screen. I'm just not going to play it, so we don't get copywritten. But we are going to go over it, talk about it. I'll tell you my experience. I'll tell you what I felt outside of what I said on Thursday and things like that. Let's talk this first before we even get into it. Let's go here first. So this has come out. Captain America Brave New World box office updates reveal how much it really needs to earn to break even. Now, this is coming from the trades. This is coming from Disney. Now, I can't really argue with Disney. I can, but I guess we have to kind of take this as truth, I guess. I don't know. So this is what they're saying on the budget. It says, we'll have updated numbers a little later today, but the latest box office projections from Deadline reveal that Captain America Brave New World earned $27 million on Saturday. The trade remains confident that the MCU movie will end up in the mid to high 90 millions range, but suggests, and of course it ended the weekend, on $100 million? $100 million. It could head north of $100 million if it can top Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania's $20.5 million Sunday in 2023. On Monday, the latest Captain America movie needs to gross over $11.5 million to reach $100 million President's Day opening weekend, and it did that. Since says for now, its estimated 3-day haul is $87 million. This is a solid start to Captain America Brave New World, one that matters less than its upcoming second weekend in theaters that will make or break the movie and likely decide whether it's going to be a hit. According to the latest report, Captain America Brave New World needs to earn $425 million at the box office to break even. Its global debut this weekend expected to be around $200 million. Around the $200 million mark. There have been some wild claims about the budget ballooning to $300 million after reshoots, though that remains a little more than a rumor at this stage. If there's even a kernel of truth to that, the odds are well and truly stacked against this one. Now, Anthony Mackie, they have the thing here where Anthony Mackie showed up in the theater. I'll go ahead and play that.
Y'all have the best seats in this. My bad. Have fun and enjoy.
Is this a fans at an open screening? It's very empty. It's not.
I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being an opening weekend crowd. Thank you for being fans. Thank you for being here because you love these characters and you want to see where these stories are going. It means so much.
Okay, that's great. I will say here on this part, and I'm not trying to be funny. Before we even get into this, I'm giving my opinion. I'm gonna have a nuanced discussion about it. Some of you already know where I stand on the film. So if you like the film or whatever, that's fine. I'm glad you liked it. But we have to, as moviegoers, comic book lovers, as whatever, get out of this whole thing where if somebody doesn't like something that you deem to be great, that they're hating. Just because I don't like this film and you loved it does not mean I'm hating on it. I'm not hating on this film at all. I'm giving it what my eye saw. So before we get into any of that, if you got your feelings wrapped up in this review, if you got your feelings wrapped up in anything, go ahead and check that shit at the door. Get the fuck out, because I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I think. I'm going to say this part here where he's talking about you got the best seats in the house at the seat. It doesn't matter how close you are to that screen. It's a terrible movie. It is a terrible movie. They go on to say here, in Captain America Brave New World, after meeting with the newly elected U.S. president, no. We're not even going to go over all that. We're just going to go into it. So Deadline also said, and I have to take this for what it is because this is coming from the trades, but Deadline also did report, where is it here, that Captain America Brave New World needs to earn around $425 million worldwide to break even. Its production budget is $180 million. The production budget is $180 million. All right. So the whole thing about, and I've seen some people saying like, oh, well, it made its money back. No, it didn't make its money back in the first weekend. There are so many other things that have to go. That's not how the budget works when the money comes back. Anyway, there's so many other things that have to go into it. You have to pay for your theater spots. You have to pay for the marketing and so much other things that you have to paying for to. So when they say break even, this film still has a hill to climb. And I've seen a lot of people saying, I think it's going to hinge on the second weekend, this weekend. To be honest with you, I'm shocked. I'm shocked at the how many people are actually really enjoying and loving it, and I'm glad. I'm shocked to the point of, wow, I guess we are two different moviegoers, two different Marvel viewers or whatever, but I'm happy to the point because I don't want Marvel to fail. I don't want Sam to fail. I don't want Anthony Mackie to fail. I would like for, this franchise to continue to flourish. I'm shocked just because this is not, I just didn't see this. I didn't see it coming as far as how many people are liking it. The audience score juxtaposed to the critic score. I think the critic score is a little bit more right on it. I'm siding more with the critics, I guess. I don't want to call them right because it's simply an opinion. I'm more siding with the critics than I am siding with the audience score. I think, again, I saw this film Thursday, and I went in open-minded. I went in wanting to like it. I went in actually because I hadn't seen a Marvel film in theaters since, oh God, the Marvels. I was like, I'm actually kind of ready to sit down and watch a Marvel movie. I'm ready to get to the action stuff with the Red Hulk, outside the stuff that I've seen in the TV spots and everything like that. I'm ready to see how Sam can lead. Can he lead? Can Anthony Mackie be a leading man? Do I actually believe that Sam Wilson is Captain America? I'm ready to see all the other things, how adamantium plays in and all that kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, we've been covering Captain America Brave New World way back when it was Captain America Serpent Society, way back when it was when Moon Knight was rumored to be in it, when She-Hulk was rumored to be in it, when Bruce Banner was rumored to be in it, when Abomination was rumored to be in it, when Serpent Society was actually, the whole bulk of it, when the leader was always rumored to be in it, but in different ways. I mean, there were so many, again, the film, as we all know, has been rewritten and reshot and redone so many different times. There were so many different things going against this film. There were so many different things even working against this film. We've talked about this before with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Anthony Mackie, for what it seems, when it comes to him being Sam Wilson in the MCU, has gotten very unlucky. As you know, they changed Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier, what we got was not what was originally planned. It got changed due to COVID-19, due to actual real effects in the world. They had to rewrite that thing, and it turned out to be the disaster that is Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you like it, that's great. I don't. Moving on from there, when did that come out? 2021, I believe, 2022. So now we're picking up with Brave New World, and Brave New World it feels like an extension of Falcon and Winter Soldier, as it's supposed to be. That's what they wanted it to be. But when you waited so many years, and again, not so much Marvel's fault or Anthony Mackie's fault, they were plagued again with other real life situations with Brave New World that caused them to rewrite the script or rewrite this or rewrite that. The political stuff, the real world events going on in Israel, just so many things were working against, seems like, Anthony Mackie as Captain America in the MCU. So, with the reshoots, everything else going on with it, I never, again, wanted the film to fail. I never wanted it to fail. I just thought the writing was on the wall. You also had Marvel people that worked on the film, and now this is completely speculation. We don't know if this, this is not coming from a trade or anything. This is coming from one of the scoopers, but people that worked on the film were saying that while editing, they knew that this film was going to fail. While editing, they were thinking to themselves, "Oh, this is not a good movie." talked about how Harrison Ford was a nightmare to work with, and I don't blame him for being a nightmare to work with either. You pulled me in to as a last minute thing, because Red Hulk was not originally in the film. You pulled me as a last minute thing to juice up this film, and we're reshooting and doing this and doing that. So I'm sure he was cranky. He's 80, 84, however old he is. I'm sure he was cranky. So, I mean, there was just a lot going on before we even sat down to see the movie of what was going on with Captain America: Brave New World. So then I sat down on Thursday to watch it. And this is, again, we'll go over this kind of frame, look at it here and see what they're saying. And Michael, I did not forget your super. We're going to get to that still. But let's go here. So the first thing we have is they open the film very differently. It's very different. It is not the Marvel, which I didn't like either. And this could be a nitpick, sure. You could call this a nitpick or whatever. I didn't like the fact that we didn't get the regular Marvel intro on this film. And I think that even speaks to something, because I think, I don't know. Anyway, no Marvel intro. I didn't like that either. So we move on. We go straight into the film and things like that. Now, while watching the movie, you can see where the cuts are. You can see where the edits, where the reshoots took place. And if you didn't, then that's great. I'm glad that you were that immersed in the movie. It opens up obviously here with Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross, and he's addressing the nation as about to be president. I don't think he's president yet. I think this is either he had just gotten elected or they're counting the elections or whatever, as president, and his whole theme about being together, bringing America together, and basically that whole, again, if you remember, there were a lot of comparisons to the whole Trump campaign and making America great again. And I never got into the political conversations with Brave New World. I never got into the bigoted conversations with Brave New World, as far as Sam being black and being the Captain America and people not wanting to see a black man in Stars and Stripes. I feel like that was addressed in Falcon and Winter Soldier when he gave the speech about, I'm not a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy in the Stars and Stripes. I'm a black man, and even now I'm feeling the stares. I'm feeling people not wanting, the whole speech he gave. I feel like that was so I never got into the political arguments of it or things like that. One, because I simply don't care. If you want to talk about, black heroes, and that's where I'm coming on the T'Challa conversations. But in order for me to have the conversation about Sam being black in the MCU and things, and not to say that I don't advocate for Sam, not to say that I haven't advocated for Sam or defended him as a black hero. That's just not where I was ever going on conversations with this film or Sam Wilson in general. So the whole comparisons to the MAGA stuff here, and then of course he gets elected, and then we see Sam here in a bar. Let's kind of skip to the scene that we had seen here. Now this is the scene that they had shown the TV spot, Sam coming in, vibranium wings, everything from Wakanda, to help him take out his villains. The action sequences for me, I wish I could play it. I wish I could, but I can't. I'll get copyrighted. The action sequences for me didn't hit. That's just for me. I thought that the action sequences were clunky. I thought the choreography was not tight at all. I thought Sam looked way out of form. And the reason I say out of form is because it's not as if I don't like Sam Wilson in the MCU. I just rewatched Winter Soldier after I watched this, and I also rewatched Civil War after I watched this. In both films, I love Sam. I love Anthony Mackie in both those films. I think Sam was so much cooler, he was written so much better. He had so much more character development. I felt like he had personality. In this, I feel like Sam's just here. I feel like he doesn't know why, even after the speech he gave in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he doesn't know why he's carrying the Stars and Stripes. He says it many, many times in the film. He doesn't know why he's carrying the Stars and Stripes. He doesn't think he's right to be Captain America. I get that's a part of the whole character struggle and him supposed to come to terms with that at the end, like, oh, I am Captain America and all that kind of stuff. It fell flat for me. I didn't feel any character development for Sam. I felt character development for Sam in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I felt character development for Sam in Civil War. In this, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it at all. And again, I felt that he digressed as far as like his training, in Falcon and Winter Soldier and Civil War and in Winter Soldier, he's the action sequences that Sam has, the combat that Sam has, like when him and Crossbones or Rumlow before he becomes Crossbones fight in Winter Soldier, great scene with Sam. The scene with him as Falcon with the wings, with the guns, like bro, it's better material for Sam. It's better writing for Sam. This just wasn't it for me. Again, fell flat. The coming in, I guess, can I not get that on here? Oh, there we go. So comes in, lands, with the vibranium that he's got from Wakanda helping to power his suit, and, use that a lot. Let's see. And then, of course, Giancarlo. Oh, gosh. So let's get to Sidewinder. Let's get to a good picture of Giancarlo here. Giancarlo Esposito played Sidewinder. He's in here unnecessarily, to be honest with you. I don't know why Giancarlo was called in. There was that article that came out from Nate Moore that said that, there were just no room. We feel like if we're going to put a character in a film, they have to have purpose. They have to have meaning. We don't just want to put people in films. And this is verbatim here. This is not word for word. We don't want to just have people in the films that are just there unnecessarily doing nothing and things like that. So that's why we cut Isaiah Bradley. Let me explain something to you. I don't understand why they cut Isaiah Bradley or Eli, not Isaiah. I don't know why they cut Eli. I really don't. You could have still had Isaiah Richardson, who plays Eli, in the film. I actually saw on Instagram he liked a couple of things for Brave New World after it, the budget, or not the budget, how much it had made, and the trailers and things. So I don't think he's at odds with Marvel. They just simply cut him out. Why you cut him and you kept Giancarlo is beyond me. I had a connection with Eli from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Even though I hated the show, I had a connection with Eli. I had a connection with Isaiah. I liked the shit they did with Isaiah. I liked the shit they did with Eli in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like the how they touched on being black in America, being black carrying the Stars and Stripes. I like the tones that they did in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So why not bring some of that into Brave New World if it's supposed to be a continuation? You brought in a character that we had no connection with, somebody that you wasted Giancarlo's time, in my opinion. He got paid however much, I'm not sure, but you wasted his time, wasted his talent, because having Sidewinder in this film, waste of space. If Eli was a waste of space, I don't know what Giancarlo's doing in the film. I don't know. I'm not sure. They just shoehorn Giancarlo in because it's Giancarlo Esposito. They're the same way they did with Harrison Ford, and bringing in a name like Harrison Ford to take over for Thaddeus Ross, to juice up, to try to put asses in the seats. Giancarlo for 3 years campaigned and was on Comic-Con stages talking about, I've had conversations with Marvel, and I might be playing Magneto, I might be playing Professor X, or this or that. Brother, you played Sidewinder, and not even comic accurate Sidewinder. So all that talk Giancarlo did to build up his hype, his entrance into the MCU, and this is what we got. Awful, terrible, waste of time, waste of space, waste of Giancarlo's talent. Then we have, move on. He's got some hostages here, and this whole thing is being organized by the leader. They're all being played by the leader, and the conversations. Oops, shit, gonna get copywritten. The conversations that they had with the leader, the phone calls. During the trailers, I thought the phone calls were Giancarlo Sidewinder talking to Sam Wilson. I thought they were him. Captain America clipped without his wings, all that shit that was in the trailer, the dialogue, I thought that was between Sam and Giancarlo. That was between the leader doing these weird ass phone calls to Sam, threatening them with, tag, you're it, probabilities, you didn't figure this out. And it's just like, I didn't care for the leader shit either. I just didn't think that it was worth. I thought, again, the writing was awful. The dialogue was awful too. You guys know I'm really big on dialogue. I love dialogue. The dialogue in this was just. There's a point where the leader in the film, I think it's later on in this down here, but there's a point where the leader, they figure out what's turning. What's turning Thunderbolt Ross into Red Hulk. What's putting the gamma in his bloodstream, and it's these pills that the leader created to help keep Thunderbolt Ross alive. Things like that. If you remember in Black Widow, I even said about William Hurt when we went and saw the film. I leaned over to Henry and I said, William Hurt looks sick. But they had brought that up about how in the film, how he had just had triple bypass surgery, trying to get, his heart attacks and things like that. So they still play on that, still play on all that stuff. And that's why he needs the pills. And the leader was the only one to help him, to come up with the solution to keep him alive, smart enough to come up with the solution to keep him alive, but tricking him by putting the gamma in the pills, turning him slowly into the Red Hulk. So, there's a part here though, later on where the leader, they figure out what's in the pills, and the leaders come as the guy's calling Sam to tell him, hey, let me tell you what's in the pills. The leader cuts off the phone call or whatever and tells him he's using some type of device that's disrupting his heart and it's going to blow his heart up or something. And then he tells him, the guy goes, who are you? And he's like, I'm the hero. Bro, it's the dialogue. The dialogue for me was just not there. The shit Sam said was corny at times. Joaquin, I liked Joaquin in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I did not care for Joaquin in Brave New World. Again, his dialogue just not there. So then after Sam comes in, rescues these hostages that have been set in place, and everybody's being played by the leader. Sam's getting beat up quite a bit in the film. I'm going to be honest with you too on that, on the choreography of Sam's fighting abilities. Sam's getting beat up quite a bit, which I really don't understand, because in a lot of the scenes, he's in the suit. Is the suit not supposed to be the thing that helps? Because is that the reason why he doesn't have the serum? Well, not the reason why he doesn't have the serum. He doesn't have the serum because he doesn't think he needs it, although he says it a lot in this film. I should have took the serum. I should have took the serum. I should have took the serum. But, obviously Sam is different than Steve. He doesn't take the serum out of principle and blah, 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 blah. But I thought that was one of the reasons why he had the suit, because, I don't have the serum. So I'm going to use this Wakandan suit to basically be my Iron Man suit to protect me, to do this, blah, blah, blah. How he gets his ass kicked so much, I'm not sure. Because if you've got a Wakandan suit and your background in military and combat and all this kind of stuff, you've got these vibranium wings, your suit absorbs, all the hits, and you can blast that shit back just like the Panther suit. I don't understand how Sam is on the ground as much as he's on the ground in Falcon in this movie. I don't understand how Sam is wincing for air as much as he's wincing for air. Now, if you want to make it believable, okay, that's believable, because he's a regular ass man. He's a regular ass man trying to do heroic ass shit. So yeah, that makes sense. But there's also a part in here where Sam literally gets stabbed in the stomach with an axe, and then stabbed in the chest with a knife. And when it happened in the movie, I'm thinking and we're going to get to that. When it happened in the movie, I'm thinking to myself, how is this nigga not dead? How is he still alive? Because it's like, he has no superpowers. At that point where he got stabbed, he was not wearing the suit. So I'm thinking, okay, but anyway, why he's on the ground so much in a lot of these, like this scene famously, why he's on the ground so much here, getting his ass beat, is, again, he's in the suit here. It's beyond me. You have your wings. Use everything to your advantage to take these guys out. Instead, he gets beat up by some B-level henchmen. We've talked about that many, many times. Thank you, Michael Nemo, for that other super. We've talked about that many times. So he beats the guy up after getting his ass beat, which the scene we've seen. Then he moves on. Wasted also. In Marvel Comics, she is Sam's ex-girlfriend, I believe, and now, and in this it was just wasted. I think what they could have done, my opinion, what they could have done is the character that is Sabra. Wait till I get to that. The character that is Sabra, easily could have just been her. Easily. You could have cut that character altogether, since you were so pressed about the real world events anyway, and you cut all the major shit that was Sabra out of the film. You could have just put Sabra and as a Layla's character into one, and this could have easily just been her. She was already protecting. She's already protecting the president. Why not just have her be from an ex-widow, if that's what you want to make her, an ex-widow or whatever. Put her into one character and have her be the one that's protecting. Because the Sabra character, her presence, her lines, her dynamic was so fucking unnecessary. While cutting, I don't know why they just didn't cut her out completely. It didn't make any damn sense to me that this could have been that one character. This is Ross at the gravesite visiting his wife, talking about how he doesn't speak to Betty, and they're playing on tones and themes from the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie, where he his relationship with Betty was estranged due to the events that went down in Harlem with the Hulk and Abomination. So we go back here to Cap, and this scenes here are, I get it. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to cement Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, not just in the MCU, but in the minds and hearts of the MCU audiences. This scene alone, he got called Captain America probably. And it's not a problem. It's just the dialogue. Again, it's the hey Cap, like every day walking down, hey Cap, hey Captain America, oh Cap, you're funny. Like it was just like, damn, we get it. He's Cap. Like, can we move? Like he's wearing the Stars and Stripes. I know he's Captain America. Can we move on past that? Can we get to some good dialogue? Can we get to the reason that we're watching? Like this whole thing here, it was annoying. Again, thank you for that super chat. I'll get to that as well. It was annoying. It was annoying. I didn't like the dialogue here even. The conversation that they had. The conversation that between Joaquin and Sam does not feel. Man, I know y'all are gonna think I'm nitpicking. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't flow like the relationship between, and again, acting, I know two different actors. The relationship between Tony and Steve, bro, that feels real. That feels real. I know I'm watching a Marvel movie. I know this is comic book stuff, but it feels real. The relationship between Tony, the arguments, the love, the hate, it feels real. Their Joaquin and Sam's relationship feels like it was read off a script. Like I have to say these lines to you. I have to say these lines to you, and it's not really real. It just doesn't feel real to me. And again, I liked Joaquin in Falcon Winter Soldier. I thought their relationship in Falcon Winter Soldier felt way more real than it did here. And again, that's just me. I didn't like it. Yeah, thank you. Genuine. It felt genuine. It definitely felt genuine. And with Tony and Steve. Now, with Carl Lumbly as Isaiah, you still could have had Eli, because we know they're setting up the Young Avengers. So you're going to tell me you're going to have every other Young Avenger that has entered, but outside of Hulkling, every other Young Avenger has entered into the MCU except for Eli? We know Eli's in the MCU because he's in Falcon Winter Soldier. But why would you not? You could have progressed a post-credit scene the same way you did with the Marvels, with Ms. Marvel talking to Cassie, or talking to Kate about Cassie, and talking about building the Young Avengers. You could have had a post-credit scene there. He could have been here in the training stuff. So I'm saying that because that was, to me, that was a much more important character to the Sam Wilson stuff, because him and Eli had conversations. Eli was kind of like looking at America the way that his grandfather looks at America, like, so to see, and you saw that kind of come around in the finale when Sam got that statue of Isaiah put up in the museum, and how proud Eli was looking at that. So you could have played off of that. Like he's come around to the idea of a black Captain America. He's come around to, all of that. You could have put Eli in this. You could have put him in this, and you could have cut fucking Giancarlo and Sabra's ass. So to have, but the whole thing with Carl Lumbly, the whole thing with Isaiah, again, I liked him more in the Falcon Winter Soldier. I thought he was better. I thought it was so much better in Falcon Winter Soldier. With this, I don't know if it was just the cuts. I don't know if it was the rewrites. He fell flat to me also. I know a lot of people said, I really liked Isaiah in it. What did Isaiah do? What did Carl Lumbly do in this film to make you say, God, Carl Lumbly was great? Isaiah Bradley, what did Isaiah Bradley do in this film that was so great? I felt like, again, if you were gonna play on the themes of Winter Soldier and have this super soldier thing, and that whole premise is it's so dumb too. The music playing that the leader has the music that'll play that sets these certain people off, or people that he's targeted off, and Isaiah Bradley's one of them. If you were gonna play on that, you could have. It could have been a lot better than what we got. All we got was, again, Isaiah. What we saw in the trailers: Isaiah shooting and then running, and then the whole the conversations between him and Sam while he's in prison, telling Sam, "Don't come back." I just thought it was weird. I just didn't. Again, I don't know if it's the cuts, the rewrites. I just thought it was weird. I didn't like it. It was just not. He didn't hit home for me the way he hit home in Falcon Winter Soldier. The story he had in Falcon Winter Soldier, why it just. I get we kind of closed that chapter, like we're not harping on, oh, woe is me, I was experimented on, I don't want to harp on that, because that was we went on that in Falcon Winter Soldier, but it just wasn't. I felt like after that they thought to themselves, unless it was with the rewrites, where do we go with this character from here? Other than him just being in this film for Sam to help get out of prison, other than him being in the film as the person that we can pin, the villainous actions on for the moment. I don't know. I really don't know. I thought they fell flat with Carl Lumbly. I thought they fell flat with him as well. But the training scenes here with Sam and him. Again, just not convincing for me that Sam is Captain America. You're fighting a super soldier that obviously still is retaining all of his super soldier strength, but he's also, however old Isaiah Bradley is, yeah. So this montage here, this training montage here, before he gets a phone call, they went maybe 3 little quick 3-second rounds of him dodging Lumley as Lumley's trying to hit him with a punching bag, or trying to punch on him, and Sam's like doing these dodging moves and all this kind of stuff. And again, if Sam, thank you for that as well, Michael. If Sam would have gone hand to hand with Isaiah Bradley, and Isaiah Bradley with the serum being a super soldier punch, he would have knocked Sam's shit out. What are you talking about? Like, that's why I said, like, this whole thing of him having no powers. So this training montage doesn't make sense to me either. So we're teaching him how to dodge? Are we teaching him how to run? Because that's what he did this entire training montage. He ran. I wish I could play it, but I can't. Like, there was never a punch thrown on Lumley or on Isaiah or anything like that. The objective of the training session is to get it's like flag football, to get the flag off of Carl's waist, and it's like, oh, that's 1 round down. Okay, well, let me dodge some more hits. I'm not gonna go combat with you. I'm just gonna dodge, and then I got another flag. And then he gets a phone call from Ross, and he's like, oh, I need you to come to the White House. That training session did not say, damn, Cap's about to go kick ass. That it didn't do that for me. Again, I watched Winter Soldier. I watched Civil War. When you go back and you watch Winter Soldier, go back and watch Steve. Go back and watch Civil War with Steve. Again, I know he's got the serum. I get it. But this shit, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I was like, okay. And then Joaquin's there doing nothing. I didn't get it, bruh. The whole scene was just to show that him and Isaiah still talk. Isaiah's been training him, and then to get the phone call from the president, and then Isaiah to feel some type of way. Because later on, in the same scene, after he gets the phone call from the president, they're having a conversation in here, and he's telling him, I know what you went through, kind of not really bringing up, not reharping the situation of Falcon Winter Soldier, but kind of just bringing up that situation. I know what you went through, blah, 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 but I would really like you to come to the White House with me, and as an honorary guest, and yeah, Isaiah's up against it at first. He's like, I'm not trying to go back into the White House. I'm not trying to go blah, 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 blah. They don't want me there, all this kind of stuff. And he's, Mackey's telling him, I know, just come. You'd be there for me, all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Isaiah agrees to go. They go. And once they get to the White House, this scene's corny too. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate. I'm not. It's corny. The conversation in the limousine is corny to me. It's corny to me. They get to the White House. Even the conversation here about, you know, when they get to the White House and he's talking to, or Joaquin's talking to Isaiah here about, oh, let's take a picture, and he's, you know, talking about, oh, you're an old man. You need me to boost your text. You need me to do this. It's the MCU has always had humor like that. It's always had humor like that. It just, I don't know why it's fallen flat. I don't know. It just, if you laughed, I'm glad you got a good chuckle. Then they take their picture, everything like that. He airdrops it right here. This is the leader watching them, watching the situation that is going down in the White House. Some of the people that are being targeted, there's like they're on their cell phones. It's a flash of light. I don't know if that light plays. I don't know if it's just the light that triggers them, or if there has to be music as well, if that song is playing as well. But they're being watched. She comes and gets Sam to tell him, hey, President wants to talk to you. He goes and talks to Harrison Ford, and this is the big scene that we saw in the trailers and in the TV spot where he tells him, you know, Sam, Will T said every joke fell flat for him. Yeah, bro, I don't know, it was a little weird. He tells him, Sam, you know, I've changed, you know, there are things I'm trying to do, blah, 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 blah. I want to make, you know, bring peace to America and all of our allies, blah, blah. I'm verbatim. Y'all know exactly what he said, blah, 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 all that shit. Then he tells him, I want you to help me rebuild the Avengers. And he's like, okay, you know, I'm shocked that you want me to do that. You know, if we disagree on a situation, on how to handle a situation, he's like, then we'll work together. And you know, that's the whole "work with me, Sam" thing that we see, where he's like, you know, I got a good feeling about this. So him and Sam have that conversation. Sam obviously has that devious look where he's Anthony Mackie's smile, where he's like, okay, yeah, let's put the let's do it. You know, let's work together. We'll see how this goes. Blah blah blah. So then they go out. He meets the president of Japan. And really, bro, they are really here juicing up the whole, we want you to love Sam Wilson as Anthony Mackie. They put the emphasis on him being able to speak Japanese and things like that to the Japanese president, Japan's president. Here, they're talking about the element that is found in Tiamat. Finally, Tiamat's being mentioned after years and years of Eternals. Now, Tiamat is just mentioned here. Tiamat is... Now, here's my issue with Tiamat just being mentioned. Eternals made this whole big deal that there's a celestial sticking out of the ocean. How is America going to deal with that? How is the world going to deal with that? Several, you know, blah, 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 blah. And in Guardians, we know that nowhere is the Celestial's head in Marvel Comics, the Celestial's head that was cut off by Null. I don't know what the situation is in the MCU of why he's headless in the MCU, but nowhere is a Celestial's head. It's a whole place. You can go inside. There's several. It's a functioning basically world. Why? If they're mining and doing all this stuff in the Celestial for Tiamat, why we don't see, like, because they're mining for adamantium, why we don't see several different fractions of the world mining inside of Tiamat for adamantium? Why we don't see like a stations set up, and maybe that's just asking too much. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like it'd make it more realistic. I feel like it'd make it more connective to what we're trying to show you here in the MCU with this film, but adamantium is mentioned here, and we've known this for 3 years. Again, if you go back to any of the videos we did covering Brave New World, we've known about the adamantium stuff for years. Now, it's just mentioned. It's not like I've seen so many people, like when the trailer dropped or when they dropped this scene in a TV spot, people were sharing this on Twitter like, oh, yes, we are finally back. It's mentioned in the MCU. Adamantium's mentioned. It's not with Wolverine, it's just mentioned, and not only is it mentioned in the MCU, it's mentioned as basically undercutting vibranium. That vibranium is no longer the most precious metal in the world. Adamantium is the most precious metal in the world, and Wakanda's even mentioned. He says I forget. Damn, what did Ross say? Something about adamantium. It's not being protected by a nation or whatever he says, something like that. I forget what he says, but making it to where they're talking about here how adamantium is even more precious than vibranium. It is now like Ricardo said, yes, this is now in the MCU, correct me if I'm wrong, considered after this film to be the strongest metal in the world. And that whole debate has even been a whole thing in Marvel Comics. But vibranium, despite what any of you might think, even in Marvel Comics, vibranium is the strongest metal in Marvel, period. Another undercut to Wakanda in the MCU, but I'm going to digress and move on. So anyway, he gives his whole presentation to the different nations and things like that. Shortly after, the same thing that happens in the trailers, we see where Isaiah gets... Damn, this is a long speech. Isaiah gets that flash of light, and then the song plays or whatever. He grabs the gun from one of the security agents. That's all blurry here. And shoots at Ross. The whole thing breaks out. Sam is getting his ass kicked again. I want to highlight that. I wish I could play this scene. Oh, I wish I could play this. Sam is on the ground again. I just want to let y'all know. Sam's on the ground somewhere in all this jumbled mess of the chaos of the gunshots. Captain America is on the ground again. So while the president is being drug out by the CIA or the Secret Service, Captain America's on the ground. Sam finally gets up, and once he gets up, he goes chasing after or tries to hand-to-hand combat another person. Goes after there's Sabra. We're gonna get to her. Goes after Isaiah. Isaiah's still, mowing his way through the different Secret Service agents. He's then running outside on the White House lawn. Sam's chasing after him, trying to get him to calm down. You got several CIA agents, police officers, whatever, chasing after him as well. Then he finally comes to like this water fountain in the park where Sam's trying to, calm him down. Like Isaiah obviously doesn't remember what's going on. He says, the last thing I remember was taking the picture, and now I'm outside. He said, I don't know what happened. And then Sam's like, okay, we're going to figure it out and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, you got to let them take you in. And Isaiah's like, I don't want to go back. I'm not going back in that room. They're not putting me back in another room, blah, blah, blah. And that's where he's crying about it there. I can't go back, to where Sam says, trust me, I got you. We'll work through it. We'll figure it out. To the police officers, Isaiah, I keep calling this man Carl Lumley. Isaiah agrees. They take him to the ground. Of course, the forcefulness of taking him to the ground makes Sam say, hey, be easy, all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Sam put on his big boy Captain America pants and stormed into the room with Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross and a whole bunch of different members of the United Nations. And he tells them, hey, now I'm confused here. It's different. If Steve Rogers is storming into the room, I can see where the Secret Service, would be apprehensive about maybe wanting to put your hands on Steve and like, hey, Captain America, you please don't go in there. Don't kick our ass. Please don't go in there. Why they didn't take Sam to the ground, I don't know. What was he going to do? He doesn't have his suit on here, so it's not as if he has any powers. He couldn't have done anything to you. So Sam's got his big boy Captain America pants on. He's going in to talk to Thunderbolt Ross about the situation, how Isaiah was treated and things like that. And he storms in. Thunderbolt Ross tells them, hey, he's fine. He stays. Everybody else leave. Everybody else leaves. On the news is obviously what just happened. He comes over to talk to Ross and tells Ross, what happened, blah, 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 blah. They're looking at the news, and Sabra comes in, and she is an ex-widow, and she is also his top of his Secret Service, I believe. I could be wrong on that, and I also don't care, but I could be wrong. She comes into the room. Sam says that she needs to leave because this is a private conversation, to where Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross, says no. She stays, and they have the conversation there. The two of them get heated because Sabra and Sam are arguing about the situation. It gets heated. That's why they cut to her, because you can hear them arguing outside the room. Goes back to Harrison Ford telling them both to be quiet. and Sam telling him, what happened, with us working together. I thought you said for us to work together. And he says, that's before your friend tried to shoot me. Now, I thought the change was a little weird. I get it. He just got shot at. I get, blah, blah, blah. Your friend tried to shoot me. I don't know what that has to do with the Avengers. I don't know what that has to do with the Avengers working, because Isaiah's not an Avenger. What has to do with the Avengers working with the president or anything like that, or why that changed his mind so, like, in an instant like that. I get it, being shot at, whatever. That's when he tells him, you're not Steve Rogers. And then he says, you're right, I'm not, blah, blah, blah. There, awkward silences. And he says, no, I get it. I get it. I see what Jabari said there. Steve was put on his ass a few times. I've just watched Winter Soldier. I watched him get put on his ass. I watched Steve get put on his ass too. But at the same time, Steve getting put on his ass is a difference than Sam getting put on his ass. It is a difference. It's a difference. If you guys look on my Twitter page before Brave New World came out, I put the two scenes side by side. I put the scene of Steve in the elevator with 9 motherfuckers with tasers and magnetic handcuffs to get him to the wall and all that kind of stuff. Steve beat the dog shit out of them. And next to it is the scene of Sam in his movie with his suit on, the vibranium wings and all the powers from Wakanda, getting his ass beat by a henchman. We don't even know his name. So it's a difference in asses on the ground, but yes, his ass has been on the ground too. So they go and he says, fuck all. Sam's basically fuck all that. He don't want to work with me. Don't want to work. I'm not gonna work with him. We're not gonna work. He hasn't changed. Blah blah blah. He takes the pills obviously to keep him healthy, keep him from getting mad, or to keep him healthy. Sam's being double crossed here, not knowing that the military has turned against him, and they are working, obviously answering to Sabra. And this whole conversation between him and Isaiah is being recorded. He's telling Isaiah what happened. You got to work with me. You got to tell me something. I got to, be able to get you out of here and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, I don't know what happened. Last thing I remember is what I told you. Then things like that. Then Sam says he's going to get to the bottom of it. And Isaiah says, you want to help me? And Sam says, yes, of course I do. And then it was weird. Isaiah said, then don't come back. Leave me alone. All that kind of stuff. I don't get that. I didn't get it. Anyway, Isaiah says, guard. The guard comes to get him. He leaves. And Sam's like, oh, we're going to figure it out. There's the double crossing there, talking to Sabra about, hey, Sam was here. I need a recording of that conversation is what she tells him. Sam and Joaquin here. I don't remember that conversation. I don't remember what they were talking about here. So we're going to have to skip because I don't remember what the conversation was here. This is Sabra. Now, let's get on Sabra. How unnecessary the character was to be kept in this film. I don't know why during all the reshoots, all the rewrites and the cuts and edits, she was not simply removed. Her presence was unnecessary. The character gave nothing this entire film. Gave nothing. No development, no arc, no nothing. There was nothing for this character in this film besides being unnecessarily here. All she did was get on the computer a few times, say a few lines, and had a shit hallway scene. That's it. And I'm not trying to even hate on the actress herself or anything like that, but I thought the actress herself was, because I even leaned over. The actress herself was just like, she doesn't look like a widow. She doesn't give this imposing threat as a widow. Like, not saying that like Natasha gives an imposing threat, or Yelena is this imposing. None of them give off, like when you look at Yelena, you're not thinking, oh, she can kick my ass. When you look at Natasha, you're not thinking, oh, she can kick my ass. But when you look at her, you really don't think, oh, she can kick my ass. And even with the scene that she had, the hallway scene where she displayed what she learned in the red room, or it just I didn't get it. I was like, oh, that again was choreography that fell flat on a flat character that did not need to be in this movie. So here she's doing exactly what I said. She's looking at the computer. She's doing some computer shit because that's all she ever really does in this film. She's looking at the computer. She's finding out what happened, and she's like, what the hell? She writes some shit down. She does that too. She writes shit down. She talks, and she gets on the computer. So she wrote some shit down after seeing what could possibly be could have made some of these people freak out. Harrison Ford's on the phone. Harrison Ford, God. Thunderbolt Ross is on the phone with military here, talking about the leader. Is our asset still in containment and blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at it right now. He's here, blah, blah, blah. He's safe. Again, don't remember the conversation. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about what could have possibly set Isaiah off. This is where Sam, Captain America, a line in which I liked from the trailers that is not in the movie. There's a line in the trailers here because this is where Sidewinder is about to catch back up with Sam and fight Sam without his uniform on. So it's going to show Sam once again getting his ass kicked. So in the trailers, Sidewinder says Captain America as he's pointing the gun at Captain America, which fits well within the scene because Sidewinder understood in order for me to beat Captain America, in order for me to beat Sam Wilson's Captain America, I have to catch this nigga without that Wakandan suit on. As long as he's got that Wakandan suit on, there's not shit I can do with him. But he's powerless without it. So in the trailer, he says Captain America, while he's pointing the gun at him, caught without his wings. In the movie, he didn't say that shit. And I was really waiting on it, and I know that's such a small nitpick. It's my nitpick, my review, my story, deal with it. I didn't like it. I was like, where's that line? Why didn't he not say that? Because to me, that just, it fits. It's the reason why I understand why I can take you down right now, because I'm catching you without your wings. Like you don't have your Wakandan tech. You don't have anything. So I'm about to kick your ass. And he does. I'm about to kick your ass and possibly kill you. So I'm like, why was that line not in? Instead, they kept a whole bunch of other clunky fucking bullshit lines with Giancarlo. He's talking to Joaquin here, and he gets ambushed. Sidewinder shooting at his. Actually, in two. Can I say this? Remember the GW Bridge? For those of you that don't remember, let me just minimize that really quick and show you this. GW Bridge. Remember the GW Bridge trailers in Marvel? When we thought that he was gonna, I 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, believe that he was going to be GW Bridge. I believe it. I believe that Giancarlo was going to play GW Bridge because the character is nothing close to Sidewinder. I understand the Serpent Society was always going to be in it, but the Serpent Society at one point was cut. Even Sidewinder was brought back when they had the brilliant idea to make Giancarlo waste his talent, waste his time, and have him come in and be Sidewinder. But I also think before they changed it back to Sidewinder, it was GW Bridge. The character is just too much. He is framed to be GW Bridge way more than he's framed to be Sidewinder. So I believe that is who the character originally was going to be. Even here, he's just GW Bridge. But he catches Sam. Oh shit! I keep doing that. I don't want that shit to get copywritten at all. I need to check that. We're good. Okay. He catches Sam without the wings. Blah blah blah. Tells him, he blows up the car. Obviously, Sam's not in it. He calls whoever. I think he was talking to the leader. Calls the leader. Says, asset eliminated. Stay tuned for confirmation of death. So then he goes up to it. Sam comes out. They get into. God, I really wish I could play this, man. They get into a fight. They're fighting. I think here is when he stabs Sam. Let me see. They're having a conversation, and then he tells him, "Oh yeah." So he gets Sidewinder down. Sidewinder's like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," but he's got a gun in his back of his trench coat. He shoots at the back of his trench coat, and then he gets him in. This is the part here where in the trailer he says Captain America caught without his wings, but he doesn't say it. And he's given some speech to Captain America. I don't remember exactly what he said. And then by this time, Cap has been stabbed with the axe in the stomach, and been stabbed in the chest with the knife, and he's still up. I can't do 60 seconds. I really wish I could. I don't think I can though. I don't think I can because it'll probably get flagged. This movie is still freshly in the movie theater, so I don't think I can. But after he says whatever he says, he jumps up from behind the car, causing a distraction that he caused earlier. Jumps up from behind the car, kicks, does this like 2 foot kick on drop kick on Sidewinder, and I thought he was dead here because he is stabbed. There's a stab wound on Sam here. Stab wound on Sam is here, but there's also an axe. He took an axe to the stomach, so there's an axe stab wound there. And Giancarlo is Sidewinder is on the top of this car, like gasping for air. And I said, there's only 5 of us in the theater. It wasn't like, I was in a packed theater. This was the weirdest Marvel experienced movie in theaters for me, to the point to where I even hated my theater experience, like, because I was in there with 5 people. And I said pretty loudly, no way that's what they brought Giancarlo in for. Because that's not the last scene with him, although the next scene with him is just as pointless. He was gasping for air here, and I thought he was dead. Because he stopped breathing and closed his eyes, so I thought he was dead. And I was like, no way they brought Giancarlo in for that. Fast forward here to the United Nations, other nations talking to other countries, talking to Thaddeus Ross about how they have lost faith in this whole plan. If Japan's not on board, he's telling them, I'm going to get Japan back. Just work with me. Give me time. Let me get Japan back. Anyway, he goes to talk to Japan about getting Japan back. I'm sorry. Well, let's not yet. He's not there yet. He's in hiding right now. They got him in a bunker. He's telling them, I'm leaving the bunker. I got to go fix this. So we're taking a flight to Japan. And they're like, oh, Mr. President, that's not safe. I highly advise you against it. He's like, oh, I got to fix this. So we're going. Anyway, they go. Sam comes back to whatever headquarters him and Joaquin are at. Joaquin's asking, what the hell happened to you? I'm asking the same thing. I don't know how he's standing. He's a regular man with no serum. They just got stabbed in the stomach with an axe, in the chest with a knife. But hey, here we are. He's walking upright, telling Joaquin, we are going to get to the bottom of this. And if you're going to go, you better pack up your shit with me because we're going. Joaquin's like, all right, cool. Let me get my shit. They're going. They're kind of trying to figure out. I think they kind of figured out the whole thing here, that it's something within these phones and the flashing lights and the music and blah blah blah. And then he pulls out and they play this dramatic music. It's Cap, and then they go. Sabra comes in. I think this was an edited scene. This was a reshoot. I think this was a reshoot. This definitely was a reshoot. This scene right here felt so out of place. Not out of place. I won't say out of place. It fits the film. It just was a reshoot. He obviously is under the same control of the leader that like Isaiah and some of these others. The music is playing. She's trying to figure out what's going on. He goes in and shoots before she can question them. He goes in and shoots the other guys outside of Isaiah that were causing a problem at the president's announcement about adamantium, and then he shoots himself. Then she goes in and she sees that. This is that scene that they shared. Again, I don't know why they shared this scene. It was just as pointless in the actual movie. All it is Harrison Ford on a Peloton exercising and talking about how if someone asked, if his health person asked, he did the whole 5 miles, and how it's still important for him to go to Japan. And she's like, sir, I just advise against it. He's like, oh, we just got to fix this. Anyway, they go. They go to Japan and they go fix it. Joaquin and Sam are having a conversation about what I really don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember that conversation. I don't know if I remember this conversation. This conversation is actually an interesting one. This is when the leader calls Thunderbolt Ross and is telling him, what you did to me, and how you kept me here, and the pills I gave you, you let me rot here. I'm gonna let the world see who you really are. You haven't changed. You're the same Thunderbolt Ross, and blah blah blah. All this dramatic music and this dramatic. They played this whole dramatic thing up for the leader to make you think that the leader and play the dramatics up for the appearance of the leader. The whole time that before, up till now, 47 minutes into the film so far, we still haven't seen the leader's face. And to be honest with you, the film is an hour and 50 minutes. I could have gone that whole time without seeing the leader's face. I thought what they did to Tim Blake Nelson's leader, abysmal disaster. It was a bit like how we got away from. I guess I can wait to show that. I can wait to show. Well, where is it? Did I save that? Yeah. How we got from this to what is going to be shown? I don't know. Tim Blake Nelson did several interviews before Falcon Winter Soldier where he was asked about, the leader stuff after being confirmed to be the leader, where he said he told them, he didn't want CGI. He wanted full prosthetics. He wanted to actually be in it. He wanted to, as an actor, you want to be in it. You don't want he wanted the prosthetics and everything. If this was what because this is officially from Marvel. This is not like somebody made this. This is from Marvel Studios. If this is what they came up with, and this was the prosthetics they were going to use, who signed off on the final result? Because this right here, that's the leader. That is the leader. I will take this all day, any day, up, down, left, right, side. Like, that's the leader. What we got, brother, I don't know. But anyway, so that's that conversation there between the two of them. They're building up this whole, hype before they show the leader. Thunderbolt Ross is telling him, I know I have changed. I'm different. This was a reshoot too, I think. Conversation between them is pointless. It's just the camera quality. I want you to look at the camera quality. The camera quality is even different from the last scene from here. Don't say, oh, this is you're watching this bootleg. No. The camera quality was also the same in the theater. I think this is a reshoot here too. This was something because like the dialogue here, it's just like we got to fill some dead space. We got to put something else in the film just to kind of fill up some of this dead room we've got. And this was one of those. This was Sabra getting a phone call from, I think, Ross. Yeah, Ross telling her, I need you to come back immediately, just based off the phone call he just got from the leader. I need you to come back immediately, blah, blah, blah. And then this was Isaiah asking her, you still don't think I'm innocent? I'm innocent. And a pointless scene. Sam and Joaquin arrive at where the leader is. They get in based off of obviously Joaquin's military background. Thank you so much again, Michael, for that super. I'll get to all of those. Everybody's supers. I'm gonna get to everything. Again, off their military background, him going into them breaking in. I like this though. This I liked because it one thing I think Marvel has failed to do with Sam Wilson is they stopped doing it. They did it in Civil War. They did it in Winter Soldier. They highlighted his background in the military or Air Force. His background is not highlighted anywhere. It's not highlighted in the Falcon Winter Soldier. So you kind of forget that Sam has this badass military Air Force combat background because they don't talk about it, they don't display. But here, I liked it because Joaquin, they were able to break in based off of Joaquin's military experience, like the things he's learned in the Air Force and things like that. So I like that. I like when they broke in, they get into to the leader's little facility, and they start to walk down halls and try to figure shit out. Kind of like remember when Natasha and Sam broke into the Hydra base and found why am I blanking? Zoloff. When they found Arnon Zoloff, and they went in then, and he was the computer system now. Kind of the same thing. Kind of same thing here. They're going in, figuring out this shit, except instead of running into a computer, they're going to run into the leader. They walk in and figure out, holy shit, what's going on here with this weird ass facility and this lab and experiments and shit like that. And the leader's in the room listening to them while they're talking. He's just sitting in a chair. They don't see him. They're talking about all this shit. Then he comes out and says whatever. I don't remember what he said. Comes out and says what he said. Oh, yeah. So they're figuring out, like, where are all these people's pictures up? Blah, 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 blah. Then the leader chimes in like, aha, I'll tell you why. And Ross is, before that part, Ross meets back up with Japan's president. Japan's president doesn't trust Ross. He thinks that Ross and the United States have coerced the whole situation to where they stole the adamantium that Japan mined, and that he is manipulating the situation, that he wants Japan to look stupid and he wants to take over and blah, blah, blah. Japan's not buying it. They received intel from the leader that the U.S. did indeed try to, they didn't, that the U.S. did indeed try to steal the adamantium from Japan and blah, 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 blah. And Ross tells him, well, if you believe this and you're just as stupid as I thought you were, I should have never made an alliance with you and all this kind of stuff like that. And Japan says, okay, yeah, well, fuck you. And we're going to go back to Japan and fuck you up and go to Tibet and get all the adamantium. Back to the lab. They're talking about, the whole situation, figuring it all out. Again, think Steve, Natasha. That's the scene. The leader must have just said what he said because Sam's eyes cut up. And they're now looking at who the fuck's in here with us. And Tim Blake Nelson's leader standing there. And now why he's been so beat up? Why? They make it as, obviously he's been experimented on. They're trying to do all these different things, whatever they did to him in this lab. Whatever they did to him, it has caused him to like have one eye shut, one eye is half open, his head is all mutated, his skin is green like the Hulk because of the gamma and everything like that. But yeah, like it is not what I saw a post online. Now this could be completely fiction. This could be people just engaging for likes and things on Twitter or whatever. But somebody posted on Twitter in their theater that whenever the lights came on in this particular scene and it exposed the leader, everyone laughed. Kind of like everybody laughed when they saw MODOK in Quantumania. I don't know, and I saw some people saying, why you guys MCU fans like to whine. You got a comic accurate MODOK in Quantumania and you said it looked like shit. You don't get a comic accurate leader and you still say it looks like shit. Which is it? First of all, the MODOK was comic accurate and was great. It was the CGI that was shit. The CGI of MODOK was absolutely terrible. That's what people were complaining about. This right here is just absolutely shit. You could have again done this and it would have been 10 times better. Speaking of MODOK, he's literally right there. The CGI of this shit was awful. It had nothing to do with nothing to do with that. The CGI was awful. So comic accuracy is what we want, but we want it to be comic accurate. The leader, I think, is telling them their plan. His plan, I don't particularly remember exactly everything he said here. Sam tried to run at him, then he uses some. It's like those things that they used on the Hulk in the '08 film. The military came in, those sonic beams, and he was covering his ears. It's kind of like those. It's kind of like that. He yells after he hits Sam with it. He yells at him, "Don't make me do," or something. Whatever he says. And as soon as he says that, he releases Sam, and I'm like, "What the shit?" Okay, all these henchmen come in, like these military guys come in. I don't know if they're under the leader's control or if they were just on his side. I don't know. Let's go with they were under his control because it wasn't really conveyed. And if it was, I wasn't paying attention. They come in with all their tasers and things like that, and Sam again is getting beat up. If that's not a good enough scene, imagery of what the whole fight really was like. Yeah, he had the shield and he was throwing it off the walls and hitting people in the heads and shit with it. But again, that's my issue. If you have the serum, and I get it. I get what you all are saying. Oh, and I even get I get it. Even in comics, he doesn't have it. I understand. This is not comics. and since we're talking about that, everything in the MCU is not always comic accurate. He should have had the serum. It just is. It's unbelievable to me, and it's unbelievable in this fictional world for me to watch Sam getting beat up by mind controlled, not super soldiers, just regular military soldiers with tasers here. And then you want me to believe, because Anthony Mackie has said that the next time we see Sam Wilson in Avengers 5, he's going to be in top peak form. He's going to be at his finest, and he's going to be leading the Avengers and things like that. If the premise of Doomsday is still going against Doctor Doom, and I don't know what other fractions are going to be added to that. Is he going to have an army? Is he going to? I don't know. But Sam leading the Avengers against Doctor Doom when he can't even lead Joaquin and against just soldiers. It's been my complaint the whole time. I don't know how Sam is going to lead anybody in Avengers. I don't know how Sam's leading anybody in Secret Wars or anything like that. I don't know how Sam thinks. I don't know how Anthony Mackie believes that he's going to be Sam Wilson unless him and Marvel have had talks behind the scenes that none of us are privy to, that he's going to go on and be Captain America for the next 10 years. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. And maybe he is. But I just don't see. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Stop comparing Tony to Sam. Stop comparing Hawkeye to Sam. Stop comparing Black Widow to Sam. I understand Black Widow has no power. She's an Avenger. I understand Hawkeye has no powers. He's an Avenger. Hawkeye never once has gone up against a Red Hulk level threat. Black Widow never once went up against a Red Hulk level threat. Yes, they were there with Thanos, but when did Thanos and Black Widow ever go one-on-one? When did Hulk or Hawkeye and Thanos ever go one-on-one? When did Hulk and besides, the sun's getting real low, when did Hulk and Natasha ever go? So it's not as if these people that you're naming have gone against threats that Sam is going against. Sam is going against threats like that powerless, okay? Powerless. He is here without his Wakandan suit, getting his ass kicked yet again. So I don't know how he leads the Avengers. They eventually do take the soldiers down. Of course, the movie has to go on. They do eventually take the soldiers down. There are more soldiers out there. This is where Sabra shows up, and I'm assuming, they really want to show off her badass widow stuff here. No. This fell very flat as well. I guess this is what I mean too. When you look at her, I don't know. She's not convincing to me as it. She wasn't convincing to me either. They move on. God, we still got more to go. Jesus. Sitting here rehashing the film, I'm bored. They talk to the FBI. The FBI takes Sam in, and because Sam was in an unauthorized U.S. base or whatever the fuck. These two people are part of are part of Ross's cabinet. They're arguing about the situation in the ocean with Tiamat, talking about Japan is moving on Tiamat to mine the adamantium. What should we do? Should we get involved? They're arguing back and forth. Harrison Ford's, or Thunderbolt Ross, getting angry on the inside, and so you see the kind of first glimpses of the Red Hulk anger. Put some cracks in this table. Tells them, we're going. Fire up the jets. We're going to Tiamat Island, and she's like, "Sir, I highly advise you against it." And he's like, "Don't you tell we're going to Tiamat Island." And she's like, "Yes, sir." They get ready to go to Tiamat Island. So Sam shows up here to this base. They test to see if any of these soldiers have been brainwashed as well. None of them have. Sam gives the pills to this dude here and tries to see, what's up with these pills. Can you tell me what's in them? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, I got a guy. And originally, if you remember in the rumors and leaks and things like that, Amadeus Cho. Remember when there were supposed to be a whole bunch? Remember when this was a Hulk film? Remember when this was a Hulk film, but it had the title of a Captain America film? Remember Bruce Banner was supposed to be in this. His son was supposed to be in it. She-Hulk was supposed to be in it. Red Hulk was supposed to be in it. Amadeus Cho was supposed to be in it. This is not just me pulling this out of the air. This was actual shit that was supposed to be in this movie. Amadeus Cho was supposed to be in this movie. So the person that is on the other side of the phone, I don't know if that's who they kept it as, but was originally supposed to be on the other side of the phone when the pills are getting tested, was Amadeus Cho. And that's how we were going to see in a post-credit scene. He was going to turn into the Hulk as well. So he has the pills tested. Amadeus Cho, I guess, was cut as well, was supposed to be the one testing these gamma radiated pills and blah, 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 blah. Moving forward some more, he catches up with Giancarlo's Sidewinder. He's asking Sidewinder, what do you know? Who's the buyer? Who's this person? He's like, oh, the buyer's the leader. And he explains it to him. And he says, well, when I break out, Captain, I'm coming for you and all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. They figure out what's going on. Jesus. They show more of the leader. The leader goes to, I don't know whose house this was, maybe political leader. He shoots him and his wife. This, to me, was the dopest part of the movie, in my opinion. Anytime Sam was flying and doing shit like in the air with the suit, anytime he was like surfing on those fucking missiles and taking people out like that, I even said in Falcon Winter Soldier, the opening of Falcon Winter Soldier is it's great. It's Sam at his best. Whenever he was in the air, he felt like a superhero. Whenever he was doing shit in the air with the wings and like he felt like a superhero. This whole thing over the Celestial Island felt like a superhero. Everything else he did, because majority of the film, he's not even in his suit. He doesn't feel like a superhero. So this is the most superheroic shit that I felt in this entire film. So they're over what is this? The Indian Ocean with Tiamat Island. Why is it called Celestial Island? I don't know, but Tiamat Island, and they go to meet Ross. Ross like, what's he doing here? And then he's like, Sam's trying to explain to Ross what's going on. He's like, hey, we can have this conversation in public, or we can have this conversation in private. It's up to you. You want everybody to know what you've been up to, or do you want me to air your shit out, in public, or are we talking about this in private? So Ross is like, not wanting to hear the shit and blah, 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 blah. And they go and talk about it in private. And he's like, why did you have the leader? Why did you have the leader or whoever? I'm sorry, I forget the leader's Stearns. Why did you have Stearns in prison for so long and doing experiments on him and all this kind of stuff? And Ross is, not wanting to answer. And he's like, tell me, he's like, 'cause I was dying, God damn it. And then he explains to him why he was dying. And, it harps on, pulls into other stuff from the 2008 Incredible Hulk film. And he's like, and he was the only one that could figure it out. And he, fixed it. And he's been keeping me alive with these pills. And he's like, well, sir, it looks like that he has a case on you too, that you may be being mind controlled as well. And he's like, are you being mind controlled? He's like, I don't know. And all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Then I don't remember the rest of the conversation, what they were saying. I think Japan might have oh, that's what it was. Thank you for that, John C. I'm going to get to everybody's supers. Thank you for that. It really means a lot. One of the American soldiers, of course, were being brainwashed and fired on Japanese ships. So that kind of cut their little meeting short because they got called out like, hey, did you authorize this fire, this blah, blah, blah? No, I didn't. Then he's like, Sam, you got to get out there. Sam and Joaquin get out there. And again, shining moment for Sam Wilson. If I have to give positivity, here it is. Shining moment for Sam Wilson. I liked this scene a lot. I thought it was great. It felt heroic. It felt like a superhero. Like, I liked it. So I liked this a lot. Let's see. Sam, they then fly off. Of course, they're taking down all these different... this is one I really wish I could play. They're taking down all these, all the fighter jets and missiles and intercepting these different missiles and things like that. It's cool. Sam's using the vibranium from the suit. Joaquin here does try to do a heroic thing, of course, and gets kind of taken out. Sam's like, that was dope. This part right here, this shit was dope. This shit was dope. The surfing on the and he looks good here as well. The surfing on the missile on the water, it was some cool shit. It was some cool shit. I liked it. I agree with everybody else too. It'd be cooler than the Red Wing here, the telepathic Red Wing, the real fucking bird, the bird that he can speak to telepathically. I wish that we had that. That to me, that would really set Sam off. You want to make Sam instantly cooler? Give him that fucking hawk. Give him that damn bird, the falcon. So, yeah, this scene here I really liked. Thunderbolt Ross was also talking to Japan, saying, we didn't fire that. We're being manipulated. And he's like, yeah, you're manipulating the situation, to where he hangs up on Ross, and Ross throws his headset down. He's like, I need a minute. Then goes below deck. More cool acrobatic shit with Sam. Goes below deck to where he gets a phone call from the leader, and the leader's talking to him and telling him, just let loose, be who you want to be, go kill Sam Wilson, kill Captain America. You're angry all the time, Ross. You haven't changed. I've been putting this in those pills, and if you would just let loose of all that anger, you could end this situation in the blink of an eye. You can go out there and do all this kind of stuff. Blah 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 blah. This is the moment where Joaquin tries to take out one of the missiles that Sam's telling him, no. The missile blows, and Joaquin goes down. They send us. Sam's like, I got to go rescue Joaquin. They're like, no, we'll rescue Joaquin. You go handle the last missile that's literally heading right toward our fucking ship. Sam's like, all right, I'm on it. Sam's like, I'm ending this now. So he goes and takes the missile. Leader still in Ford's, or God, I keep calling Harrison Ford, in Ross's ear here, and you can kind of see the eyes changing, the swelling of the muscles around the suit, as if he's going to turn in. And I thought, hold on, are they about to shock us right here? Is Marvel going to pull a shocking moment? Are they going to give us some Red Hulk shit that wasn't in the trailers? Is he going to turn into Red Hulk here and fucking decimate these ships and they're going to try to figure out who the fuck was that? Because if you remember in Marvel Comics, we did not know. For a full year of that character being introduced in Marvel Comics, we had no idea as the readers who the fuck Red Hulk was. We knew there was a Red Hulk, but as a reader, we didn't know we didn't know who he was. The Avengers didn't know who he was. We were like, who is the Red Hulk? Who's the Red Hulk? When it was finally revealed to be Thunderbolt Ross, it was like, whoa, okay. So fast forward to this movie, I thought, okay, they're cooking here if they do it. Because I thought to myself, maybe he turns into the Red Hulk here, destroys these ships or whatever, and they're trying to figure out who the Red Hulk is. Who was that? That was a Hulk, but what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. Then you fast forward to the reveal of, holy shit, it's the president when he turns into the Red Hulk behind the podium. Not what they did. Not what they did at all. He has some spouts of anger here as Sam is doing what he's doing, taking out these last ships and everything like that. But he doesn't turn into the Hulk. She comes in and breaks that up and tells him, hey, we took down the ships and blah, blah, blah. And then Stern's leader does this really weird, again, this is why I say clunky, unnecessary, messy. Like the acting at moments was just very Tubi. The acting here from Tim Blake Nelson, who is a great actor, was Tubi-ish. Like the yelling, because he didn't like, it was just weird. I didn't like it. Sam lands, talks to, they got Joaquin, taking him to the hospital. Joaquin has this surgery because, is he going to make it, blah, blah, blah. In comes the first real cameo. And the first real cameo is from Bucky. All reports were saying Sebastian Stan's not in the film. Sebastian Stan was always in the film. Alex over at the Cosmic Circus, Daniel RPK, they reported on this. Again, we've been talking about this film for 3 years, a long time ago, that Sebastian Stan always had a cameo in this film. At one point, it was more than just a cameo, but after the film had its 97th reshoot, it turned into just a cameo. So his cameo, he comes in. I didn't get the cameo. 1 second, I gotta grab something really quick. 1 second. I hate to get up in the middle of this, but 1 second. Okay. So Sam, where were we at? Where are we at in this damn film? Yeah. So Bucky comes in, gives this speech to Sam. Now, what does again? This was one of the reshoots, I believe. Why we had to even have Bucky come in to give the same speech that we already gave in Endgame is beyond me. Because Sam is telling him here, you know, I don't know if I was. Why is this not fast forwarding? I don't know if I'm cut out to be Captain America. Look what happened. I haven't, I lead a mission. How many missions? That's what he said. How many alien attacks did Steve stop? And Bucky tells him 2. And again, even in that dialogue, I don't understand it. Why is Sam asking Bucky how many alien attacks did Steve stop? Nigga, you were at one, and not only were you at one, you were the first one out of a portal. The whole. He came out of the portal in Endgame, on your left. What do you mean? So even the dialogue there, I didn't understand the question. Then he goes on to tell him, I don't think that I'm cut out to be Captain America. I should have taken the serum. Why did he give me the shield? And things like that. The same question he had previously asked Steve in Endgame, and Steve told him why he gave him the shield. And it's like, why are we rehashing this conversation? Is this another reshoot just to fill the sake of time? To like, hey, let's get Sebastian standing here to give him some type of encouragement as he gets ready to go fly away from the Red Hulk. So I didn't get I could have done without I know a lot of people were like, oh, it was so good seeing Bucky. He looks so great. We're literally going to see him in Thunderbolt. So for me, it was like, I could have done without this scene. I always thought Bucky should have been in Brave New World, but not just as a pep talk to Sam that he had already gotten from Steve, who gave you the shield. So, didn't understand that one either. Then Bucky says, I got to go, political campaign that is going to be explored more in Thunderbolts. As a congressman, then they go on. Sabra comes in. I forget what they're even talking about. She said something about Bucky looking good and something. Isaiah, I think, was going to be put to death. The death penalty, I think, is what it was that he was looking at. Then Sam was like, oh, I got to go. I got to go help my friend. And got to call a guy about these pills. And so this is the phone call here that was originally, I believe, supposed to be Amadeus Cho. Maybe it still was Amadeus Cho on the other line. I don't know. To where he tells him, I know it was in those pills. Where'd you get them? They're gamma filled and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, oh God, let me call Sam. I got to make a call and tell him. This is where that line that I said earlier, where he's like, who are you? Leader's like, I'm the hero. And he should have said, I'm the leader. I felt like he should have said in that moment, I'm the leader. Like, instead of saying I'm the I don't. So anyway, he kills this guy. Terrible. Oh God, he kills this guy. They got the leader looking like Luigi Mangione with his fucking hoodie and sunglasses on. He kills this guy, and then he's on his way to commence the final act of his plan, and that's to get Thunderbolt Ross to Hulk out. Now, right before this, Liv Tyler, who played Betty in the original 2008 version, she makes her phone call, her voice debut in the MCU. She calls over to Ross and says, I'm sorry I didn't call. I saw that you got shot at. Are you okay? It's just happy to hear your voice, Betty. I'm good. Maybe we can talk. And, she's like, I'd like that. And maybe we can. He's like, okay, da-da-da. And so it's something he's been trying to get, want to talk to my daughter, my relationship with my daughter. So I thought to myself, okay, well, maybe that calms him down a little. And I also thought to myself, she's going to show up at the end of their fight, and it's going to be like she did with Hulk, and she's going to calm her dad down, because I haven't seen my daughter. I miss my daughter. I want a relationship with my daughter, blah, blah, blah. That's not what happened. Something worse happened, but we'll get to that. So I thought, okay, well, that might calm him down. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe something else makes him Hulk out at the podium. Anyway, so then he goes to give his speech after talking to Betty, and a question got asked to him forget what the question was. But anyway, the leader starts playing their conversation that he had with him on the plane where he was telling him, I know you're still the same person, blah, blah, blah. He recorded that conversation. He meets up with Sam first, tells Sam, hey, the final operation of my plan is about to be commenced and blah, 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 blah. And then that's when he starts playing their conversation. He starts playing Ross and his conversation over the intercoms where Ross is, and it's letting people know, what's going on, what you've been doing. And Ross is like, let me tell them the truth. He's trying to break away from them. Let me tell them the truth. That's not the truth. Let me tell them what was really going on. And then she tells him in this moment, Mr. President, I can't allow you to do that. He's like, allow me? You can't allow me? And then, yeah, that right there. He's like, you can't allow me. And then that's when he hulks out and comes from behind the podium as the Red Hulk. I thought the design looked phenomenal. We've said that, though, since the trailers and things. He looked great. The Red Hulk looked great. Great. The fight, for me, underwhelming. As great as the Hulk looked, this fight was so underwhelming. This fight for me was exactly what I figured this fight would be. Outside of course, they're not going to just show Red Hulk just throwing Sam around. Like, you can't just have him just throwing, because in reality, that's what would happen. Instead, let's have him fly away from him. Only thing Sam did to Hulk in this fight, cut him a few times. He took his wings and he cut Hulk's back a few times. Thank you for that super as well. Sorry, my chat is coming back on so I can see who sent that, but I'm going to get to that in just a second. We're almost done with this. He cut his back a few times, but he never, there was never, okay, this is my complaints with it, man. I think I really would have loved this fight if it could have been a lot different as far as, like, again, like I've been saying from the beginning of him fighting Red Hulk, what the fuck was he ever going to do? What the fuck was he ever going to do? It's the same thing with the Thunderbolts. Even though I'm way more interested in the Thunderbolts film, I'm very curious of how the Thunderbolts beat Sentry. So it was always the question of what the fuck does he do? Thank you, Michael, for that super as well. What the fuck does he do with the Red Hulk? Because again, he cut him a couple times, but never once did he fly up to him and like boom, boom. He wasn't like flying up to him and hitting him or undercutting him or slashing him more than once with the wings, like doing a spin or something, like cutting him several times with the wings, or there was nothing like that. It was like, okay, if this makes sense for my video game players. Like, I'm not a big video game player like that, but I used to be when I was younger. But I remember when I would play a video game, actually use Marvel as an example. There was a Spider-Man game on PS1. You guys remember the Spider-Man game on PS1? Not that game was fucking phenomenal. I loved that game. The Spider-Man game on PS1 where you fought like Hammerhead, Scorpion, Mysterio, Rhino. I think the big villain that you fought at the end was Carnage. You fought Venom. Like you fought a lot. Dr. Rock. You fought a lot of them, and they had like those cut scenes in between. Like, it was a really good game. I love that game. Well, when I was younger, when I would play video games and things like that, when you finally got to the big bad, the big boss of the game, and you have their life and your life, and if you don't want to die because you might have to start all the way back over to the beginning of the boss fight, whatever. What I used to do whenever I would play video games and I'd play the boss and my life was real low, I would run in, hit them, run out, let them do it. Run in, hit them, run out. It was made the game fucking shit, but run in, hit him. I felt like that's what the fuck Sam was doing this entire fight. I'm gonna run in, I'm gonna scratch him with my wing, and I'm gonna fly the fuck out of there before he can grab me. And I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna fly the fuck out of there before he can grab me. And that's exactly what Sam did this entire time. You give me a scene where Sam landed one physical punch on him, and if I missed it, I'm sorry, I missed it. Yes, he sees here like, oh, I'm connecting all the energy from the vibranium, and then he hits Red Hulk with the energy blast. And, oh yeah, he was shooting those at him too. Those little fucking darts. He was shooting little darts at him too. I don't know if they had vibranium in them or not. Of course, he's like, oh look, on the ground yet again. He's like, oh shit, time got a blast because here he comes. I just threw some shit at him, so I gotta fly away. And he flies away, and I get flying away from him, but flying away, then maybe flying back and getting some hits in, bro. Like there was no punches. Red Hulk decimating the White House. This is Sam here trying to, using the wings and the jetpack to push back the helicopter that was going at those guys there. Then Sam's like, I got an idea. I'm going to get his attention. I'm going to get him to chase me. And they're like, oh, Sam, that's suicidal. Don't do him. Don't do that. He'll kill you. It's like, I'm planning on it. Cool image of him on top of the White House with it on fire and him hulking the fuck out. Then Sam's like, he sees Sam. He's like, oh, I'm about to kill him. Then he takes off after him. The Hulk jumps. Once again, Sam flying away. He's like, I guess Sam thought this could be my son's getting real low method. Let me take him to the Blossoms where him and Betty used to walk, and I can remind him of that and calm him down. Sam's flying through the trees and everything. He lands heroically to do nothing but get the shit punched out of him and get punched into the street. To where he's getting up once again, getting up off the ground. He's getting up, and he's like, the scene, you want me? Come and get me. And Hulk's like, I'm about to fuck you up. More of the again, just let me cut him with my wings and, run from him and on the ground again. And let me use the vibranium to protect me, and I'm going to use this to blast him back, and Red Wing, do your stuff, and oh no, of course that's going to happen. I'm going to get one of my wings whipped because I keep trying to fly away from him. So one of the wings get ripped off. Then he crushes the helmet, ripping it off. Then he throws him. It's okay. Hulk jumps at him again. Then, of course, he uses that last vibranium boost to kind of just throw him out of the way. Then Sam is under a lot of rubble. They come and rescue Sam. He's like, please tell me that took him out. And he's like, rawr. And they're like, oh gosh, no, it didn't. And he's like, damn it, I should have taken the serum. That's like, I think the third time in the film he says it at that point. Maybe he is going to take it. Who knows? Then he's like, okay, hey bud, sun's getting real low. You remember Betty? Remember the Blossoms? Remember all that? And he's like, I understand. You can kick my ass. You can pummel me right here. You can destroy me, but it would go against everything you've worked for. Please, sir, calm down. Don't do this. Don't try to kill me. Don't try to kill everyone. Don't Hulk out. Look at the Blossoms. Think of Betty. What would Betty think? And he's like, Betty, you're right. Hulk down. All right, so now he's no longer the Hulk, and he's back to being Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross, and they bring in the military to take him out, take him to the raft, and Sam's like, yay, I got something else I got to do. I got to go free my friend. Then he's like, you're free. I told you I'd come back. Then he pushes him and says, what took you so long? Again, you told him not to come back. They hug it out, and Sam's like, I got you. I always got you. And he's like, yeah. Then they're, the Celestial Island, Tiamat Island treaty that they came up with. And then Sam goes to the raft to visit him, to where he, explained, they have their whole conversation about, what happened and things like that. And Sam's like, I believe you're capable of change and all this kind of stuff. And why are you here, Sam? And he's like, well, somebody else might want to talk to you. I forgot why Sam told him when he was there. I think it was just a check on him, or I don't know, something like that. I don't fucking know. Anyway, Betty shows up, Liv Tyler, and she's like, yeah, Dad, I would love to sit and talk to you behind these bars. And they have that conversation, or whatever conversation they have. And then I don't remember what they said here. Sam goes to visit Joaquin. Joaquin's like, I don't even remember what they said here, to be honest. Don't have me lying. I have I couldn't even utter one word of this conversation. No idea what they said. Then he goes back. I know Sam goes to the raft. That's a long conversation. Damn, did I miss that whole thing? I have no idea what they said. Sam goes. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, was that it? Is that how it ended? Brother, I do not remember that. Okay. End of the film. Post-credit scene is online. You can watch that anytime. Post-credit scene is online to where Sam goes to the raft and speaks to Stearns, and Stearns is like, they're coming. There's more and more coming, and we share the same. He's like, saying about you killed a lot of innocent people here today, and blah 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 blah. We don't share the same sense of humor. And Stearns is like, well, we share the same world, don't we? And he's like, well, they're coming, and talking about the multiverse and talking about Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff. That's what it's talking about. So, overall, for me, if you could not tell from my commentary of breaking this down, Captain America: Brave New World is not in my top 5. It's not. I saw somebody say they liked Love and Thunder more. Okay, it's not that bad. Love and Thunder is terrible. It is not that bad. Brave New World is bad. It is not that bad. It is not a terrible, terrible, terrible film, but it is a very much aggressively okay film. Like, it's not one that I'm eager to go rewatch. I don't really care to rewatch it, because actually I probably won't rewatch it, even once it's on Disney Plus, in my spare time, in my boredom, if I ever do a Marvel marathon with someone that's interested in watching Marvel, it'll be one that we do a 5-minute YouTube video over. This film, to me, if this is the best you could do after all the reshoots and everything like that, if this was the best product, then my gosh, this was definitely one of those films where I think Marvel Studios themselves even said, let's just put this shit out. Get to Daredevil, get to Thunderbolts, get to Fantastic Four, move the fuck on. I think they're ready to get past this as well. And again, with Anthony Mackie as Captain America, maybe in Avengers 5 and 6 with different writers, different directors, helming by the Russos, Marcus and McFeely, maybe we like him better, because I like him a lot better in Civil War and Winter Soldier. So maybe as Captain America, I will like him better. Yet to be seen. But let's jump into some of these supers. Again, appreciate you guys on that. Let's go up here. I don't know if is it. Let me see if it'll let me. Okay, all messages. There we go. Okay. Michael Nemo said, I don't know if this is the first one, because I feel like I'm missing someone too. Hold on, because I don't know if it's giving me all those supers. I feel like I'm missing someone. I am. I'm missing Bosco's. Where's... Let me see if I can just pull up the supers. Or maybe I can pull it up. Hold on. Okay, there we go. It'll let me pull them up here. All right. The first super from Michael was just asking, were the locks changed from the previous tenants? Brother, I really don't know. I would like to say that the locks were changed from the previous tenant, but I honestly, I do not know. I don't know. But I have since done a lot of different protective measures, security cameras, and different things like that in the house. Let's see. Next one was also from Michael, where he said Isaiah was much more interesting to me than Sam. Ruth was more interesting than Mackie. Ruth was more interesting. Mackie doesn't have that spark for me. Lumley as Isaiah screams charisma. Yeah, I thought that he was, for me, I thought he was much better in Falcon Winter Soldier. I really didn't care for him in this one, but I thought he was much better in Falcon Winter Soldier. I said the same thing. I think I said it Thursday. Mackie, after this, to me, still confirms he's not a leading man. And again, maybe that changes with different directors and writers and whatever vibes, but he just didn't hit me as a leading man. Bosco said, imagine they went to see Bruce to analyze the pill instead of an unknown soldier. Then at the end, Hulk shows up to assist Cap. Good way to start. I completely agree with that. I really do as well. Why would you not go to the person that you know knows the most about Gamma? The person you know who's literally day-to-day life is dealing with the effects of Gamma. So I don't know Gamma radiation. So I don't know why you wouldn't go to Bruce. Again, at one point, Bruce, She-Hulk, Scar, Red Hulk, Amadeus Cho, they were all supposed to be in this film. At one point, this was and Moon Knight. I promise you, go back, bro. 2022, those were some crazy rumors for Serpent Society. Moon Knight was in this shit too. It was a Hulk film. It was a Hulk film at one point. Yeah, I completely agree with that too. That would have been dope as fuck. I completely agree with that. Michael said, suppose Isaiah was in it more and suited up. Or supposedly Isaiah was more in it more and more suited up. Oh, now that would have been dope if Isaiah was definitely suited up. Now I want to read the original plot to you guys, what the original plot of the film was going to be after these super chats. I'm going to read that. And you guys tell me what you like better. What we just went over, if you've seen the film, what you saw in theaters, or what I'm going to read in the plot lead. This one is also from Michael. He said, reshoots were shot on an iPhone. It definitely looked like it, bro. It definitely looked like it, especially the scene where she is escorting Isaiah outside or wherever they're going. It looked like it was shot on an iPhone. John C. said, the Thunderbolts has to be referenced to Thaddeus Ross as his version of the Avengers. I still think that they're going to do something like that. I think the asterisk next to their name is going to be because they're going to be the Dark Avengers. Actually, there's been a lot of different scoopers confirming that, like Alex over the Cosmic Circus or Daniel RPK. They've all been saying that the asterisk is just going to be because they're going to be the Dark Avengers, and that is going to be played out in Thunderbolts. So maybe Thaddeus Ross does join that in some form of capacity. He, I don't know, maybe so. Michael also said Tyler Ruffalo can't see them together. Yeah. Norton and Tyler, yeah. Ruffalo and Tyler, she still looks damn good. I don't know if they use any effects or CGI or anything like that. She looks great. She looks great. Ruffalo has obviously aged from the first Avengers to now, but I'm talking about the last time I saw Liv was in 2008. So she looks great. Michael said, you know what film I like better than Brave New World and is almost as problematic, Angie Lee's Hulk. Which one was that one? Is that the Angie Lee's Hulk? Which one was that? Ah, that one. The very first one. Or not the very first movie, but this was my first Hulk movie. This was my first Hulk movie when I was a kid. I didn't watch the originals with I forget who originally played Hulk. I didn't watch those. This was my original. Yeah, this was my original movie. I saw this. I haven't seen this in forever. But it was good. I liked this one. I've liked this one a lot. The action figures, yeah, I had all these. This was a good movie. I liked it. I haven't revisited it. I might do that. I haven't seen it in quite some time. Let's see. All right, and that's it on the supers. Appreciate all the supers. Appreciate you guys for that. It really, truly means a lot. Thank you. Okay, before I read the 10 reasons of Captain America, according to Screen Rant, the 10 reasons Captain America Brave New World got negative reviews, let's go to the original plot. The plot that came out a long time ago, just resurfaced because people were like, let's just kind of go over this. So this is the original plot. And you guys tell me what you think of this. Hold on. All right. Original plot. Team Cap, Sam, because if you remember, there was supposed to be a small group of Avengers that he was going to put together in this movie as well to help him take on what the threat was. Team Cap, Sam Joaquin as Falcon, Isaiah as Patriot, versus Tech Suit Serpent Society to recover stolen adamantium. Already cooler. Sorry, already cooler. Then it goes on to say, while chasing brainwashed Isaiah, Ruth totals a car with her shoulder. Obviously, Ruth being the superhero and that she is supposed to be and having the powers that she has, but nope, we didn't do that. And then it goes on to say Sam and Joaquin chase down and have a cool fight with Diamondback and learn about Camp Hope. Leader's original design was his comic origin of big head with hair. After Ruth discovers brainwashing, she talks to Sam about her origins of learning she had powers. She also goes to visit Isaiah to say she knows he's innocent. The hallway fight scene is longer, and Sam/Joaquin/Ruth fight in unison. Would have been so much cooler. Sam doesn't get the pills investigated. Leader steals a military helicopter to oversee the naval battle and make Ross angry. It's even, to me, cooler than calling him, hey, bud. Joaquin was originally shot down by a jet, not a missile. Bucky was not in the original cut because Thunderbolts had a different date instead of directly after Brave New World. Stearns originally orchestrated his own capture to leak Ross's info to the news and make him Hulk out. The original Sam versus Ross fight seemed less realistic as Sam was withstanding more hits than possible. The original fight ends after Sam remembers adamantium absorbs gamma and Ruth brings him the canister from the beginning. He uses it on the open wounds he cut into he cut into Red Hulk, and the adamantium depowers him. This causes his heart to stop and Ross dies. A faked funeral is held for Ross, so to the public he is dead. Betty originally does not answer his phone call but comes to the funeral. The original ending shows Stearns escaping his prison, not the raft, on a helicopter with a brainwashed pilot. The original post-credit scene shows Betty at home on a rainy night with flaming footsteps in her backyard leading up to her door. Thunder flashes and we see Red Hulk's silhouette and glowing red eyes, and then the second flash and then on the second flash, he disappears. And that's what was originally going to be it. That's what MCU status and some other people have put out and said was going to originally be the deal. Now, I remember there was another original plot leak. Let me see. There was definitely another. Of the original. Maybe it was always this one. Oh no, okay, so this is the one. This is the one. The one that I had read a while back. So it's not just bullet points, it's actually going into detail and everything like that. It says movie opens with Sam on a mission going after the Serpent Society. They are supposed to be the leader supposed to lead Sam and Joaquin to a buyer of the package adamantium. Giancarlo Sidewinder has some nuns hostage. Oh, this is the new this was the what it came to be. Oh yeah, this was after they redid it. Okay. And this was 5 months ago, and this was before the film release. This is the film. So whoever is always leaking these plot leaks, they be getting that shit spot on. Spot on. Hold on, go back again. Back. Okay, so maybe the one that I was trying to find from didn't it set 11 months? Okay. Anyway, fuck it. Don't know where it is. But that, for me, what we just read was better than what we got. Better than what we got. There were moments of what we got that you still could have kept in that, but is better than what we got. So again, if you really enjoyed it, and it looks like there are a lot of people that are enjoying it, that's great. I'm glad that a lot of people are having fun with Brave New World. You know, I never want a Marvel film to fail because it just looks bad on the franchise and things like that. And if they can get the Black Panther stuff back together, I want this franchise to obviously thrive. But this was going to be a dud from the beginning. I'm afraid. I've said that. I've said before I even watched the film to you guys, I think that this is one that Marvel just wants to get through. They just want to get through it. I think they themselves know that it's not a good product. No matter how much Anthony Mackie is hype and showing up in theaters and telling you that in the front row you have the best seat, he himself knows that it is not a good film. The film received a B-. It is the lowest cinema score of any Marvel film. And you might be thinking a B-, that's bad. Yes, it's bad because people left. What that is it's signaling a lot of people left underwhelmed, disappointed. That means that more people left underwhelmed and disappointed than left any other Marvel film. So it now hinges on the word of mouth. It now hinges on the second weekend. And I know a lot of people are saying this film is not going to have a good second weekend. I disagree, to be honest with you. I disagree. I disagree. I think the word of mouth right now is still pretty positive. No, B minus, Patrick. B minus may not be bad in our eyes, but a B minus in the as a cinema score to Hollywood is a bad score. And as a Marvel film, it is the lowest Marvel cinema score. So in terms of it being bad, again, in our eyes, B minus is not bad. A B minus is bad for Marvel Studios. No matter how you flip it, spin it, turn it, try to make it make sense, a B minus for Marvel Studios is bad. Take it how you want to do it. Take it how you want to do it. And if you don't believe me, you can look that stuff up on your own. I'm not going into a whole thing about, trying to explain cinema scores and how they work, but a B minus in a cinema score for Marvel Studios is not good. So they're looking at this, they're looking at all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a bad second weekend for them though, because people are still talking about this and it's been positive. I've seen negative reviews. I've seen people saying like, oh, it's terrible. I've seen people saying, oh, I don't like this movie. I've seen, the critic scores and things like that, but the audience score is what it is. And the people are still out there saying like, you guys are exaggerating. It's not as bad as what you guys are saying. It felt like a good Marvel film to me. I've seen people even saying, hey, I got Winter Soldier vibes from it. So it seems like for some people, it is hitting all of the points that they want it to hit. Another example, a friend of mine that I coached with for Nike Pro Skills, even when we went to see Black Panther, he, when we took all the teams to go see Black Panther, he was interested in it because it was a black character, I guess, per se, but he didn't care about the superhero stuff of it. He thinks that he's never cared about superhero stuff. He thinks that superheroes are corny. Some people think that. Some people think superheroes are corny. And one of my friends is one of the friends that thinks superheroes are corny. Well, the guy that thinks superheroes are corny texted me last night or the night before last night and asked me my thoughts on Captain America 4. Asked me if he should go see Captain America 4. Now, he's interested because it's a brother, and he wants to go see it because of the black Captain America. He's asking how are people taking it as him being black? Or I've seen some people upset with because it's a black Captain America, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I gave him my answer, the rundown, what I thought, and the whole inside scoop on what's going on with the bigoted people and blah, blah, blah. So I said that, and one more example. Another friend I used as an example before talking about Brave New World. My friend Brian had texted me and said, he was at the movies with his little boys, and before they watched the movie, whatever movie they watched, the Brave New World trailer played before, and he texted me and said, hey, are you going to see that Black Captain America movie? And I said, yeah, ? And because we never talk about Marvel. And he was like, I think I'm gonna go see it. I'm really interested to see that one. He was like, are people mad he's black? He's like, he's a black Captain America, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, sure, go see it. I mean, we've never talked about Marvel or anything like that. You're not gonna know what the fuck's. But yeah, go see the movie. So I said that to say, I don't think the film's going to have a drop-off in the second weekend. I don't. You have people, now this is just conversations I've had with two people. That doesn't mean anything. But how many conversations out there are being had around this film of other people that may not be interested or whatever, that are now interested simply because he's black. Black folks, that was an element I brought up the last time too. I said it's an element we haven't thought of. How many black folks from the black community might be interested to go seeing this just because he is black? So, yeah, I mean, the second weekend may not be the big drop-off that a lot of people are thinking it's going to be. They actually may reach and break even the way that they are wanting to reach and break even. I'm not thinking it's going to be as bad as an abysmal disaster as I originally thought it was going to be. I think that Brave New World might be in a pretty good place with the audience. Yeah. So that's that on that. And Screen Rant put out a deal that said 10 reasons Captain America Brave New World reviews are so negative. The first reason they said, well, number 10 is there is very little fun to be had. Brother, that and they're spot on with that. Spot on with that. There is very little fun to be had in Brave New World. I can't really think of a fun moment outside of the battle over the ocean where I was like, damn, that was fun. That was cool. That was like, I more of that. I'd be hard pressed. Even in the little review we just did, I didn't have fun giving that review. So let that speak to the fun of this film. Number 9 says it feels unnecessary and with no sense of urgency. Well, bingo, we hit another nail on the head. It was unnecessary. It felt inconsequential to anything going on in the MCU. Inconsequential. We've said that so many times. There's so many the things going on with the MCU right now, unless it is progressing us towards Doomsday, Secret Wars, this old thing that you got going on with the multiverse, it's inconsequential. It felt like it just did not matter. Felt like it didn't matter. Again, my opinion. I agree with Screen Rant there. Number 8 said it fails to match the height of the previous Captain America films. Yahtzee, we're hitting it again. It did not give that Winter Soldier vibe like everybody said. Remember, they said this was going to be a paranoid political thriller. And of course, there are people on Twitter that says you guys are lying. It is a paranoid political thriller. I felt all those themes. I did not. It did not hold up to its predecessors. It did not hold up to Civil War. It did not hold up to Winter Soldier. I don't even think it holds up to the first Captain. I'm not even a big fan of the first Captain America film like that. So for me personally, again, number 7, Sam Wilson feels out of character. I said this when we were just reviewing. I said he's just flat. The character development, he's just there. He does not feel like he felt in Civil War or like it felt in Winter Soldier. The character development, the character himself, he just didn't. He doesn't give that same feel. It feels like Sam is just there, and Anthony Mackie and Sam both don't know why. Number 6 is this movie ties to the greater MCU. The movie ties to the greater MCU's hinder its potential. The only ties this movie has to the greater MCU is Tiamat sticking out and the ties to the 2008 film of Incredible Hulk. That's the only. That's it. That's it. And I guess if you want to say sure, what the leader said to him about Secret Wars or it being them coming or whatever, sure, that's more ties. But that's it. Those are the only ties. Number 5. The movie's many reshoots are easy to tell apart and distract from the plot. I typically don't always agree with Screen Rant. I don't actually read a lot of Screen Rant articles because sometimes I don't like their position on recast. That's why I don't read Screen Rant shit. But once again, they are right again. The movie's reshoots are easy to tell apart. You can tell what's been reshot, what's this, what's that, and it's clunky. It's clunky. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. Number 4, it makes a forgotten MCU movie pretty much required viewing. Yeah, that's true. I won't say it's required viewing. I won't say that. I won't say you have to go watch it because they show, I think a little news snippet from the event in Harlem. They show a flashback of Harrison Ford as William Hurt's Thunderbolt Ross with the mustache. They bring up the event. I wouldn't say you necessarily have to go watch that. So that one I'm 50-50 on. Number 3 says exposition plagues what's an uneven script. And then number 2, there are too many subplots to follow. And then number 1. It feels like a retread of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that really. Because it was always supposed to be a continuation of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't mind that part, even though I don't like that series. It just falls short. Just falls short. So for me, that is my review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Not a big fan. Not one I cared for. Not one I'm going to be rewatching. I really don't have too much more even to say about it outside of this review. My next thing right now is it's almost March. It's time to get to Daredevil. It's almost March. It's time to get to Daredevil. And I think that's Marvel's thinking as well. I think they're thinking, damn, can we not speed this up any faster? Can we get out of here? Can we get to just get away from this? So we'll see on the second weekend how the film does. I still think it's going to do well on its second weekend. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to do well on its second weekend just because the word of mouth, I think the word of mouth is people kind of do want to go see it outside of the underwhelming Hulk fight, because that is what some people are saying too. Like obviously this fight is very underwhelming. It is very short. And I've even said in past streams, I think if you take all of the clips from the TV spots and trailers and you take all the Red Hulk fight scenes out of them and you put them together, you get this entire fight. It is very short. It is very underwhelming. There is very little action between the Red Hulk and Sam, and it just falls flat on its face as the big climactic ending to the film. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. See some of the comments there and hang out in the chat just a little bit, and then that'll be the stream. So let's see what some of you are saying there about that. It's only going to take me down at some of them. So we'll start with Ricardo. Ricardo said the cut and editing during this whole part was so bad. I'm not sure exactly what part you were talking on. I'm going to say the film, so we'll just go with the film. John C. said, bad dialogue. He could have said, no, I'm not. I'm Sam fucking Wilson. JW said, oh, what the fuck? Let's fucking go. Afternoon work stream. Yeah. Good stream today. Jafari said, and you're not William Hurt. Yeah. I was curious. I couldn't get this deal. What's this deal? I couldn't get the Grok deal to give me a good, thank you, Andre, for that super. For the Gronk deal to give me a good AI'd image of William Hurt as Hulk. Because I was curious to see what he looked like as Red Hulk, what that would have looked like. Thank you for that super. Andre said, do you think they should have shown the Red Hulk in the trailer? I don't think they should have, but they were desperate at that point. It had been reshot so many times. They needed to juice up the trailer, juice up the hype. That is why in all the marketing, the Red Hulk is the marketing. You know, despite what anybody might try to make you believe or a veil they might try to put over your eyes, the marketing for this film was the Red Hulk. Point blank, period. Like I showed last week, even in Australia, the marketing for this movie was Red Hulk. They had graffitied a picture of the Red Hulk busting out of the side of that building titled Captain America Brave New World. Where the fuck's Captain America? The Chinese poster had Captain America missing, just Red Hulk. All the press junkets that Sam did in China obviously didn't matter because it focused on the Red Hulk. Even here in America, the posters had Sam, yes, of course. But there were posters that had, the shield more with just the Hulk in the background or his head, his face, his hand, whatever. The marketing was centered around him. So I think if they wouldn't have shown him, it could have been disastrous for them as far as like asses in the seats. I don't know that without showing him, they would have sparked the interest of people getting to the theater. Blue said he never got anything from Sam. Yeah, brother, me either. Moving on. Grand Region Thrag said she definitely wasn't needed. Talking about Sabra? No. If you were going to keep her with all her powers and have her originally what she was going to be, I like to, where she was helping Sam and, she was a super powered individual. That could have been dope, but a widow? Bosco said she was supposed to be the Jewish mutant hero. Yeah, Sabra. Yeah, she was supposed to be, but changed it because of the world events. Like I said, it seems like Captain America, Sam's version of Captain America, is just plagued with real world events, changing his TV shows, changing his movies, changing everything. So, John C. said, and if it's a secret, it was a little too easy to find. Not sure what that one was. Will T. said, I kept asking, why is she here? Yeah, it just, man, just not a good movie. And mind you, I got the movie for free. I have a gift card from Christmas to go see a movie with $50 gift card to go see movies. And when I went to pay for the movie and my popcorn and everything, I guess the card, you have to use the card online. You can't use it there. So she said, you know what? Don't worry about it. Go see the movie. Take your popcorn. Take the icy. It's on me. Maybe she saw a screening of Brave New World before I did. And maybe she said, you know what? You're going to be disappointed anyway. So let me kind of cushion that and give you this movie for free, give you this popcorn for free, and give you this icy. And you go enjoy this free botched movie. But I kept asking the same thing. Why the fuck is she here? Gray said her 4 foot nothing hobbit ass was unbelievable as fuck as a widow. Yes. Okay. So I didn't want to be rude. I didn't know if if that was like I want to be rude and say yes, she's just small and short and not imposing at all. But she didn't give any threat as a widow. Blood Boiling said, I'm surprised she's not empathetic to Isaiah Bradley's situation. She's a former widow. Yeah, she should know what it's like to be brainwashed. You know what? And as somebody, I didn't even think of that. And I didn't even think about that. Maybe because I'm so disconnected from my feelings, emotional feelings from this movie. But yes, I completely agree with that. That just ties it all together. You would think that because she's a widow, because being in the red room, the widow's room, the red room, and knowing all the things that have happened to her, being brainwashed as a widow, you would think, yeah, I have some sympathy to that. I went through that. I escaped that. But no, I don't even think the writers thought about that, brother. So you're on a completely different lane, page than even the writers. Grand Reason Thrag said it was all Black Widow moves too. Yeah, the spinning and yeah. John C said Daredevil hallway scene that wasn't choreographed correctly. Xavier, appreciate you being here, said they could have cut all that out and put in Eli. Yeah, I'm telling you, like how Nate said, we just don't want to put characters in these films that just don't have anything to do if they're just in here pointlessly. What was Giancarlo? Scroll down a little bit. TFB said they, Marvel, should have explored the fact that Sam was black and him being Cap changed things. Him not taking the serum made him different, but I digress. Yeah, they definitely should have. I mean, I will say this too, though. For Falcon and Winter Soldier, is that not really explored, that he is the black Captain America? He gives that whole speech at the end. I mean, that's really what the whole show is about, that he is a black man with the stars and stripes. You go through the scene with him and Bucky in the street with the police, and him and Bucky arguing. The police don't recognize him because he's not in his uniform. And Bucky's like, "Hey, do you know who you're talking to?" And he's like, "Oh, Cap. I'm sorry, Falcon." Or he might have called him Falcon, Cap. I don't know. I don't remember. The conversation between him and Isaiah explaining to him, they'll never accept a black man wearing stars and stripes. Blah blah blah. Then of course the speech he gives to the congressman at the end. Where he says, I'm not a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man, and, I'm a black man in the stars and stripes. So I feel like that was kind of explored in Falcon Winter Soldier. But I definitely see what you mean there as far as, like, more that could have been explored on Sam, because I don't feel like they've done a very good job, even in Falcon Winter Soldier, of propping up Sam, of, making people excited to see more Sam. Gray said, the leader went from looking like a Roger... disguised from American Dad in the promotional images to flesh-eating STD zombie in the film. Yeah. Definitely fucked him up. Neri said he should had been in top form here. LOL. What's the point of training if he finna get his ass beat? That's my thing. Why is he not in top form? Man, yeah. Edward Stewart said, when are we going to see Rick Jones so he can turn into A-Bomb? Also, this needs to build up to become agents of Smash. I don't know. I don't know when there was somebody posted a lot of the post-credit scenes that we haven't seen paid off, and said, you think we're ever going to see these paid off? So to answer about the A-Bomb or any of those others, I don't think ever. Not that he was ever in a post-credit scene or anything like that, but not never. We're never going to see anything like that paid off, or any of those post-credit scenes, or anything characters that we want to see like that. I think right now they've got a plan to wrap this multiversal saga up because they want to get it done, and they want to hurry up and move to the mutant saga. Professor Film Fan, good afternoon. Appreciate you being here. Stamina said, London calling. What up, black folks? Appreciate you being here, Stamina. Let's say Gray, his superpower is his humanity. Yeah, that was what Anthony said. Antonio Film said, last conversation from Sam and Joaquin was Joaquin saying he wanted to be like Sam, and Sam saying something. Sometimes doing this makes you wonder if you are enough. Oh, okay. I don't remember. Don't remember. Professor Film Fan said it's an underwhelming mid-film. Yeah. Grayfield X said, spoiler warning, please. Yes, I want to say, if you were here at the very beginning, I definitely said, before we get into Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, I keep calling it that, before we get into Brave New World, and I also want to say it is in the thumbnail title as well, spoiler warning all the way. It was given, I think this has been up, that thumbnail's been up since last night. So I gave everybody plenty of time and let everybody know, if you have not seen this, it is a spoiler warning conversation. We are going in full spoilers of this film, holding nothing back. Let's see. Scroll down a little. Patrick said Mackie needs to be Cap standalone. I didn't like Mackie, and I see you said Mackie was good, and that's great. But everybody already knows my feelings with Mackie. This is not new coming out of this film. I'm not saying, oh, Mackie didn't make me like him. I don't think Mackie's a leading man. I think he showed that to me personally in this film. I don't think he has the chops to do it. I'm very interested to see how he does in Avengers Doomsday and 6 as Captain America leading leading super-powered individuals, and how that's going to do. I don't think, and plus, of course, we all know my feelings on Mackie and his feelings with recasting T'Challa and things like that. So I'm not a Mackie fan, but I can give credit where credit's due. But there was no credit for me to give in this film. John C. said the first Hulk. That's the first Hulk film, the one I watched. Patrick said she looks like that. Saw her on the red carpet. She's supposed to have had more scenes, but it looks to have been cut out. Let's see. Scroll down some. Patrick also said, it makes no sense for adamantium to even be so abundant, as it's supposed to be extremely rare. Also, you think since the Celestial is in international waters, that the Wakandans wouldn't want to be there as well. And then he goes on to say, also, Cersei in Eternals transmuted the Celestial's body to marble, so how is there now adamantium? There's a lot that's not explained with that. That's why I said they should have gone inside of Tiamat the way that we are able to go inside nowhere, like with the Guardians of the Galaxy, to show, like, maybe it was at one point, maybe they cut it out, I don't know. But to your other point there, about the Wakandans, I don't know. I feel like personally, no. Wakanda wouldn't give a good God fast about adamantium. Why do we care about your adamantium unless it's just to study it when we have vibranium? We have what you guys have been wanting us to open our borders for. We have what you guys are sending secret military operations into steal. We have the strongest metal in the world. What do we want with adamantium? And maybe I'd even say this. Forgive me. Well, I am speaking about Wakanda in the MCU. I was about to say, forgive me, Wakanda, for sliding the intelligence of Wakanda to think that they aren't already privy to what adamantium already is. But we are talking about Wakanda in the MCU, and they are vastly stupider than their counterparts in comics, and vastly and proven to be not as adept to taking care of themselves. Like I said, the whole battle with Namor happened in the water. He attacked them the whole movie with water, and they thought to themselves, hey, let's take the battle to the water. So I feel like they're also not as intelligent. So I don't know, but so maybe not. The Most Benevolent King said, saw it again last night. The movie isn't nowhere near as bad as people are making it out to be. Great. And like I said, there are people that feel like that. There are people that are saying that, it's not as bad. And I don't think it's as bad as, like, people are saying that Thor Love and Thunder is better. It ain't that bad. People are saying that Black Widow is better. I'll agree with that. And I don't like Black Widow either. I think Black Widow is better, and I don't like Black Widow. Actually, that's really tough. They might be neck and neck. Black Widow is just as bad for me. I like the opening of Black Widow. It's probably about it. So Black Widow is just as bad. But yeah, there are people out there that think that it's not just as bad, that it's a good film. Look, I mean, Most Benevolent King saw it twice. So yeah, that's why I said I don't think the second weekend it's going to have a drop off. For me personally, it's a stinker. It's a stinky film. Professor Film Fan said a lot of fans claim that every multiverse saga film has a hate campaign against it. Well, I think where we are as Marvel fans and just viewers of this franchise, there are people that want Marvel to fail. That's no secret. We are not in the same places that we were in Infinity War, the Infinity Saga. People are going into Marvel films like this now instead of eager to watch it. People are going in ready to judge. People are going in ready to hate. People are going in ready to get online and give a negative review as like, oh, yep, I told you the cracks are showing. Oh, yep, I told you the mountain is coming down. Oh, yep, I told you they're not the same Marvel that they once were. And I agree, cracks are showing. We know that. The mountain is coming down. We know that. They are not the same Marvel. We know that. I agree with the Geeky Cast, what they said on Twitter. Avengers 5 and 6 is not going to be, I don't think so anymore. It is not going to be what Avengers Infinity War and Endgame were. I'm not thinking that they're trying to repeat that. I think they're trying to outdo themselves. If you go back to old interviews of Kevin Feige, he's talking about, we want to outdo ourselves with Infinity War and Endgame with Avengers 5 and 6. I don't know that they do that. I don't think that they do that. So, but there are people that, are ready for this whole franchise to implode and things like that. But there's also the conversation that I said at the very beginning of my review where people have got to get out of this notion that just because someone hates something or doesn't like it the way that you liked it or it's not as bad as or you think it or whatever, does not then mean that people are engaging for negativity or people are being haters or whatever. No, I still like Marvel. I still like the MCU. I simply don't like this film. And that's my opinion. If I don't like the film, I don't like the film. I've seen a lot of different people, saying online, people are changing their minds because people are starting to say they like the film. Now the people that are saying they hate it are saying it's not that bad. No, brother, it's still bad. I will never change my mind due to the masses. I'm not that person. I'm not going to go with what the crowd is saying because once I said what I said and I meant what I said, I don't think the film is that good. I don't think the film is that good, and I'm not going to rewatch the film. This review I did, this skimming through, that was my rewatch. I won't rewatch it any other way because I don't care to. It's inconsequential. It doesn't take me anywhere. It doesn't do anything for the MCU. It doesn't do any progression for Sam Wilson as Captain America. It doesn't make me believe that he's Captain America. It doesn't do anything for Giancarlo as Sidewinder. What did we do with the Red Hulk? We got some him jumping around chasing a flying falcon for 5 minutes, just for him to have hey bud, the sun's getting real low. Here's Betty. Here's some flowers. Hulk. It was botched. It was clunky. The dialogue, it was just all over the place. So for me, I will not revisit it. For those of you that liked it, Marvel did their jobs. If you liked it, Marvel did their jobs. They are appealing to they want, of course, it's going to appeal to some people. It's not going to appeal to others. If you liked it, that is fantastic. Go watch it again for me. I won't. I can't. I cannot. I refuse. No. Somar said, I think Adamantium is stronger. Maybe in the MCU. But you pull up any Marvel comic. Adamantium is not stronger than Vibranium. And we can have that discussion and go back and forth about that all day. But you pull up any Marvel comic, Adamantium is not the metal that Vibranium is. Now, again, in the MCU, they have seemingly made it that way, that it's going to be more precious than Vibranium, but no. It's not. Let's see. Professor Film Fan said it makes sense that Sam got the shield after Steve, but they haven't made him interesting as Cap, in my opinion. They haven't. It's not that I don't want to like him. Again, I watched Winter Soldier and Civil War. He's fucking great in it. He's great. Anthony Mackie, I'm saying Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson is great in Civil War and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Great. He is not in his own film. He is not in his own show. Pookie Wood said, I want Marvel to fail. See, like I said, there are people that want that are wanting the franchise to fail. And Pookie Wood probably has his reasons for wanting the franchise to fail, and others have their reasons for wanting the franchise to fail and things like that. If they truly are doing what they're doing with Toussaint, I don't want Marvel to continue on in the hands of the MCU is currently in. So other people have their thoughts. Raymond said, now I agree with that. I don't think Avengers 5 and 6 are going to be the monstrous culture hit. The other word, not at all. Not at all. And I think Marvel is slowly realizing that. He also said, but y'all not taking this away from me. Movie was good. Yeah, that's why I said love it. And I also don't like that. I don't like that idea of it either. Of people trying to take something away from, no, like when people tell me Ragnarok is bad, okay, Ragnarok is one of my favorite Marvel movies. I don't give a fuck what you say about Thor Ragnarok. It is one of my favorite Marvel movies. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about Ragnarok. It changes nothing for me about Ragnarok. So that's why when people are going out here on Twitter and saying like, oh, you guys are just doing this and just trying to do... No, people just don't like the film. If you like it, that's good. Like, good that you like it. No one's trying to make you not like it. No one's trying, like... And I'm not talking to you specifically, Raymond. I'm going on about the people on Twitter now. No one's trying to make you not like this film. If you like it, great. Like it. Love it. Like, go see it numerous times. Get this film past what it needs to break even. Like, be that for it. Yay, yippee-ki-yay. I'm happy for you. Me personally, again, it just does not do it. It doesn't do it. Like, no one's trying to take anything away from anyone. Just go enjoy it. Fuck. Let's see. And again, Raymond, that was not towards you. Let's see. Patrick said, both Sam and Natasha deserve a better film. These characters been there for 10 years and should have gotten a good character. And you are fucking right on that. Natasha deserved a better film. Sam deserved a better film. Sam deserved a much better film, especially being the first Black Captain America film. He deserved a much better film. Raymond said, I rewatch it on Disney Plus. I mean, it's not on the level of any other films where I was. I'm sorry, it's not on the other level. It's not on the level of the other films where I was like, I can't wait to see this on digital. Just to see it again. Yeah, and again, there are other people. I'm sure on its first weekend or whatever on Disney Plus, it's probably going to be one of the number one movies on Disney Plus. I'm sure it will be, because the people that don't go see it in theaters are going to go see it there, and then word of mouth will spread some more, and blah 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 blah. Gray said the people who usually give Marvel grace are making videos on how to fix Marvel after this film's release. I don't want to keep going on a back and forth with the film, but yeah, I saw that. I saw that from Real Rejects too, from Coy, who was always so gun-ho, like, Marvel can't fail, Marvel can't this, Marvel's this, give them a break, they're trying, they're doing this, they're working their asses off, I still believe in Marvel. He even said, and again, that's not anybody trying to change anybody's mind. I'm observing the same shit you're observing, Gray. I see it. Blood Boiling said they could have had Bruce Banner and Sam Wilson work together to defeat the Red Hulk. Sam Wilson would use his leadership and technical abilities, while Bruce used his scientific knowledge and the strength as Hulk. Yeah, I agree. Raymond said Vibranium has always been stronger, and that is one negative. They acted like adamantium made vibranium look like aluminum foil. And I think that's where they're going with this in the MCU. As again, another undercut to Wakanda within the MCU. I don't know. Well, I don't want to go that route. But yes. I'll save that tangent for a whole another time. Patrick said, no, sir, adamantium is stronger in the comics. Vibranium is more valuable because it is very versatile. Am I wrong on that? Am I wrong? Because I'm pretty sure vibranium is stronger than adamantium. But I could be wrong. I haven't read Marvel Comics in quite some time, but I could be wrong. Have they changed that? Because I remember when I was a reader, I thought it was the strongest metal, but I could be wrong. Hell, I don't know. I could be wrong. Anyway, Stamina said, Bruce being in the movie makes 250 VFX artists' hearts break simultaneously, because he still needs to be Jolly Green Banner and not human unless he wants to join Shang-Chi in the unexplainable setting. Raymond said, I think Mackie did a better job that he has in recent films. Really? Has it been some time since y'all watched Winter Soldier? And it was for me. It really was for me. I'm not going to say I revisit the Marvel timeline daily, but I would go back and rewatch Civil War and Winter Soldier as a refresher to this, because I did after I watched this film. And no, me personally, I don't think so. I thought Mackie's acting was 10 times better in Civil War and in Winter Soldier, and I thought he was a much more interesting character in Civil War and Winter Soldier. The conversations he had in Civil War with the team, even when he was going back and forth with Rhodey, like he just a much more interesting character. Raymond also said, yeah, I don't agree with calling people racist because the shocker is the people who are usually sucking Marvel's nipples every project they come out with are even saying, yeah, this wasn't good. Raymond also said, like, even Soups and Heroes Reforged are kind of pressing the panic button. Well, I mean, but I think I want to say this too. As bad as the film is for me, and to a lot of others, we have to remember this is the last project that was done under that Phase 4 mentality. That's why it had all the reshoots and everything that it went through. It's the last project done in that Phase 4 mentality. So maybe moving into this other stuff, we're going to get better projects, better quality in projects and things like that. So it'll have to wait and see, but this is supposed to be the last thing made after that. So yeah, panic. I don't know why they're just now hitting that panic button. That panic button came during Phase 4, but I know a lot of people are still trying to hold on to that hope in Phase 4 and things like that. We were one of them. I think we didn't let go till She-Hulk. So yeah. Raymond also said, if Coy has issues, we are in trouble. Go watch the video with Real Rejects and Coy. They have issues. Raymond said, I want to know what Christian's friend Sam is going to think when they get to this post-Endgame era of the MCU. Her reactions are hilarious. He also said, however, in John's review, he is pushing a very dangerous line. I didn't watch John's review. I didn't watch the review he did, the spoiler talk. I did watch the review he did on the show with everyone, where John said the same thing. I mean, it's not a good film. It does, again, for us. I don't want to tell you it's not a good film if you liked it. For us, it's not a good film, and just didn't like it. Let's see. Patrick said, hold on, people apply good where it shouldn't be. Inception was a good film, or Interstellar was a good film. Most films are mildly entertaining to extremely entertaining. So the issue was Disney changing shit in the film and rebooting due to current happening in the nation. That's what tore up the film. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. That I said that's what's plaguing Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson in the MCU. It's not just this film. It affected him in Falcon and Winter Soldier as well. Falcon and Winter Soldier was not what the ending shit product that we got on Disney Plus. It was going to be something completely different. You remember the title, the production that series was under the production name of Pandemic Productions. Coming right on the heels of COVID-19, a worldwide pandemic, the original plot of Falcon Winter Soldier was going to be an airborne virus that caused all these people to act the way that they were acting, things like that was going to plague a lot of people. Well, having that going on the same time as COVID didn't look good, so they rewrote it. Then you have all the things going on in the nation, in the world, happening at the same time of filming Captain America: Brave New World. They rewrite it. So I said it feels like Anthony Mackie in the MCU is just plagued at this point, because every time his show or movie gets going, some world event happens, and it causes a rewrite to his film. So yeah. Raymond also said, I don't think he had enough scenes in Winter Soldier and Civil War for me really to give a verdict on his acting there. I always feel like even back then they shortchanged him. If I'm just going off of acting, I don't think I need an hour 50 for me to judge Mackie's acting. I've seen scenes from just scenes from people that have been peak acting. That have been just phenomenal acting performances. One that comes to mind, I forget his name. Just a quick one that I'm not even going over this one, but the quick one that comes to mind is from West Wing. And I don't even watch West Wing, never seen an episode of West Wing, but it's the scene where the president is telling her, giving her the different verses of the Bible and how they contradict, this and that. And at the end, he says, and in this office, when the president speaks, everyone stands. That was not only was the dialogue powerful for someone who's never seen an episode of West Wing, has no interest in seeing an episode of West Wing at all. Powerful dialogue, powerful acted scene. I got made, and I know the actor, obviously he's acted in many different things, but I don't need an hour 50 for me to say, oh, damn, that's some damn good acting from you, or you're a good actor. I got better acting from Mackie, in my opinion, in those two films juxtaposed to his own. That's just me. Gray said, if adamantium was stronger than vibranium, Wolverine would have sliced through Cap's shield plenty of times. Well, there you go. There you go. Adamantium is, I didn't want to, I didn't want to make it, I didn't want to think maybe I was wrong on that, or have they changed it or something like that, but I didn't think I was wrong from my time reading Marvel Comics. Adamantium has never been stronger than vibranium. Stamina said, no, that's right. That's right. Forgive me. Let me put it this way. As far as Phase 4 movies go, we're done. Captain America 4 was the last Phase 4 movie. Yeah. I don't think Thunderbolts is a Phase 4 film, but that's the last Phase 4 movie. But yes, we still have Ironheart that comes out, and we've got I forget, Wonder Man. Yeah, Wonder Man. Still got that too. Raymond said Thunderbolts doesn't look good to me. So if Thunderbolts doesn't hit, that's a very big problem. I'm not worried about Fantastic Four, but my fear is how are y'all going to build this threat up in these next? I'll be honest with you, and I could just be, I don't know. I'm not in a good, I'm like a lot of you, I'm not in a good place with Marvel either. My whole main place is the recasting of T'Challa, but there are other things that fall under that umbrella of not being in a good place with Marvel. But I will say, out of the trailers, the Thunderbolts trailer looks great. I thought that the trailers that they've shown so far have been exciting. It does look like it's going to be a fun, good time, and I think that that's going to do better than Brave New World. I think it's going to do better than Brave New World. It's going to be a summer, it's a May film, their summer blockbuster film. I think it's going to be fun. I'm actually interested to see what they're doing with the Century. At no point in this marketing for Brave New World was I interested in what you were doing with Red Hulk. Not once. I'm very interested in what they're doing with Century. I want to see. I do want to see this. This has me interested. Patrick said, where are you guys getting this from? This info on adamantium? It's always been stronger. And indestructible vibranium is strong, but properties allow it to be used for various things, especially with magic. Raymond said Avengers films because you mean we're just gonna pop in and see RDJ wrecking stuff. Dr. Doom not even having any tease or preference is just a mistake they're making. We haven't seen Doom yet. Hold your breath for Fantastic Four. Like we had a tease of Loki, we had a tease of Thanos, I had conversations with casuals, and they still think Kang is the main bad guy, and RDJ is just coming back as another character. Well, that's a Marvel problem. Something Marvel's got to fix. That's Marvel's fault. But as far as Doctor Doom showing up in anything, we'll see him in Fantastic Four, not the movie itself, but a post-credit scene. Not the movie itself, but he will be in a post-credit scene. That post-credit scene is going to lead into whatever they're doing with Spider-Man filming in London currently, or the summer. Filming the summer in London. Spider-Man is rumored to be a Battle World film, and Doom is rumored to heavily be a part of Spider-Man 4. So that's a Marvel problem, though. That's shit they got to fix. If casuals are still saying, hey, I think Kang, that's a Marvel problem, and that's going to have major issues for them going into Avengers Secret Wars and Doomsday or whatever the fuck. So yeah, that's a Marvel issue. Professor Film Fan said, I don't know how Marvel Studios will find success in these next two Avenger films. There's no hype level for it at all. I don't think. I remember the time, man. I remember the vibe. I remember the conversations online, the YouTube videos, everything during that Infinity War and game time. Different vibe, not the same. Joel said Ant-Man started Phase 5, Thunderbolts the last movie. Okay. Ant-Man started, so Thunderbolts is the last in Phase 4? I don't remember all the timeline stuff because it's all been whatever. I don't really care about that like that. But so if is Thunderbolts the last in Phase 4? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. So Thunderbolts may be the last in Phase 4, but Thunderbolts looks like it's going to be good. Patrick said, OMG, y'all are killing me on the strength of these two metals. I'm 100% sure on the difference of the two. Okay. And then he could be right. I don't know. But I go back up to what Gray said there. Blood Boiling said, actually, the shield in comics is a combination of vibranium and proton adamantium. 5. Okay, so it's a part of Phase 5. Okay, Joel. I see. Okay, cool. So, yeah. But, yeah, that seems to be the comments there on everybody's thinking. John C. said, Marvel Cinematic Universe Studios has a lot to fix and now are entering the Bob Iger phase, and we should see a big difference. Yeah, F4 starts Phase 6. Yeah. Okay, so Thunderbolts is ending Phase 5. F4 starts Phase 6. Like I said, you know, as far as, like we were talking about Kang earlier, what Raymond just said about casuals viewing Kang is still the big bad. That's a Marvel issue. They've got to fix that, and they better hope they can fix it before the Avengers films. They need to hope that they can fix it before the Avengers films, because if we end, people are already in a terrible place. If we end this saga with uncertainty from people going into the multiversal or the mutant saga, that uncertainty is going to carry over to the mutant saga, and it's going to carry over with people not being confident in Marvel Studios' handling of the X-Men, and that is a place you don't want to be. Because that right there, the mutant saga is their last ditch effort to fix this shit. If they fail the mutant saga, if they fail the mutant saga, they're going to be in the same place as Lucasfilm. If they fail the mutant saga, they're going to be in the same place as Lucasfilm, because the fandom is going to be so fractured. The franchise is going to be so tethered and worn. People aren't going to care. I'm telling you, they gotta. So they really better put a lot of, and I think they are, put a lot of focus into this Avengers 5, 6, how they're gonna wrap this up, making it make sense, making casuals on board, moving on into the X-Men saga and all that shit. Joel said Thunderbolts was an Avengers movie, but they stopped saying that because their other movies flopped. And then Blood Boiling said Wolverine cannot pierce vibranium because he doesn't deliver enough force in his strikes to overload its kinetic absorption properties. Raymond said, so we got to wait to see if they fail the mutant saga. When does that saga even end? That could go for years and years before I think we'll be able to smell the bullshit within the first. I think we should be able to smell the bullshit within the first movie. We should be able to smell the bullshit within the first talks around the first movie, the casting and everything else. So if I would say, if you're not sniffing that bullshit out early on and you're steady riding that stinky ass train 9-10 movies into the mutant saga, then that's on you. But if you don't smell that shit early on, I think we've been burnt and kicked in the balls enough to be able to know when shit stinks. Stamina said Marvel was burned through Marvel have burned through a lot of people's goodwill at this point. I think a shaky Secret Wars will sink the mutant saga before it starts. I agree with that too. Or at best, do irreplaceable damage. I agree with both of those. It'll either sink it or do the irreplaceable damage. And I think that's, I said, they're going to be they'll be in the Lucasfilm boat. They'll be down there with Kathy. Yep, I agree with Bosco. Said that earlier too. Thunderbolts will be the Asterisk is going to be the Dark Avengers. Raymond also said from the people their casting rumors it already feels like they're going to fail the mutants. Dun dun dun. Oh, we'll have to wait to see. We'll have to wait and see what exactly happens with the mutants, with it all. They gotta get through get through this saga first, though. They gotta get through this saga. Gotta get through it. Did you see Tatiana Maslany said she would like to come? She would like to come back for She-Hulk. I think you should let her come back. As I said on Twitter, it wasn't her fault. Everybody was going at Tatiana outside. Okay, let me stop it there. Let's just talk about her in the role of She-Hulk. I'm not talking about your personal feelings, the shit that she might have said outside of the studio, shit she might have done outside the studio or whatever. I'm talking about her role in She-Hulk. It was not her fault. That was Jessica Gao and those writers in the writers' rooms and the hands-off mentality that Marvel had during Phase 4 and all that. So it wasn't her fault. I think you give She-Hulk another chance because you can give a serious tone to She-Hulk. You can give a She-Hulk where people actually give a fuck. If we're giving Mackie and Sam Wilson second chances, and I'm not saying that they're on the same level at all, but if we're giving him a second chance, and as you know, we're trying to see how is he gonna be as Captain America with the Avengers. I would like to see how she's going to be as She-Hulk outside of her show. So if we're giving all these second chances, give Tatiana a second chance as well. Let her come in and be She-Hulk. Stamina said, I'm down for more Tatiana. She's a dope actor. Jessica Gao sold her the fuck out with the wishy-washy penmanship. Yeah. No, she did. Jessica Gao did almost irreplaceable damage to this character in the MCU. You know, so much so that Marvel Studios themselves removed her from the banner on Disney Plus. So yeah, not a good look there. I want to say that unless some other shit has come out today, that is it on what we've got. What is Marvel Rivals doing? Why did the Marvel Rivals director get laid off? It's such a weird industry. My stellar talented team just helped deliver an incredible successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for NetEase Games, and we're just laid off. What the fuck? Oh well, times are tough all over. Let's find these incredible people new jobs because we all need to eat, right? Today I'm going to start with the inspiring. Whoa, I'm not reading all that, but whoa, I wonder what happened to where the Marvel Rivals team got laid off. Slow news day. Dune 3 is supposed to be going into production this summer. They talked about that. Let's see. I don't think that really much of anything has come out today either. Just that they're beginning filming this summer on Dune 3. And then the comments from Charlie Cox earlier talking about last night, talking about he almost got the role of Foggy. But yeah, that's about it. That is about it. That is the news. So that is today's stream. It's supposedly icing right now. I guess it's coming down really hard. Ricardo was in here earlier, so I guess I will not be going to Norman today. I live in the city now, so I guess I won't be going to Norman today because the highways are, I guess, really bad. So that's why we're streaming so early. But this is not our normal stream time. We're still evenings. I only streamed this morning because I missed yesterday, and then because I'm snowed in. So if we're live tomorrow, same time, same place, or not same time, different time, 8:30 Central Standard Time, same place, and new topics, new things to go over. I did save some other Black History videos or Black comic history videos that we're going to go over and watch if the news is slow tomorrow and things like that, just to hang out like we did with the Milestone documentary and things like that. I thought that was a really fun stream, a really good stream. I think a lot of people enjoyed that as well. So we're going to do the same thing with that in tomorrow's stream if it's all slow and things like that. And we don't have a lot of news. But if not, like I said, we'll hang out and have a pretty fun, cool stream. So if you're new here and you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit this subscription button. We do appreciate it. Like this video, subscribe, and tell your friends, because everything, we're trying to grow this community, and it has really been a growing community. I think, like I said, I love every single one of you who've been here. Like, you know, Raymond, Stamina, Fresh the Film Fan, Pookie Wood, all you guys have been here since day one. Great. Even the ones that have not been here since day one. You know, Patrick's one of the newer names I'm seeing in the chat. Patrick, I appreciate you being here and being so engaging in the comments and things like that. Like, you know, and having the conversations. I appreciate it. Bosco, appreciate you being here. Blood Boiling. I want to say new names that we've seen in the community. So Somar, is you as well. Appreciate you being here. I didn't see your other comment where he said, "What up, Doe? What would have happened in real world if someone took those pills Ross took?" Who knows? That's a good question. I don't know. The Benevolent King, appreciate you being here as well. Yeah, some of the newer names, like I said, No More Champagne's not new. Appreciate you being here as well, though. Blue, appreciate it. Just all of you guys that are here. Will T, RB Grider. You guys, like I said, the new people, John C, all that. John, you're not new, but all you guys being here, just appreciate it. And if you, like I said, even if you don't comment, you're just watching, I appreciate you. If you like what you're seeing, continue to share, continue to show support. All the super chats today from everyone: Michael, Bosco, Andre. If I'm missing you, I do apologize. Bosco, Andre, Michael. Appreciate you guys for those supers. It does mean a lot. And again, just everybody in here. So live tomorrow, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Going to go over some more news, and then going to probably do one of those Black History comic, just the importance of Black characters in comics, and, you know, the inception of some of these characters and things like that. So thank you guys for being here. If you have not seen Brave New World, I do encourage everyone to go and see Brave New World. Don't take my review for it. Go make up your own mind. Go see it for yourself. You know, that was my whole thing with Wakanda Forever. Even though there were people saying T'Challa no dollar, it's this and this and that, I needed to see the film for myself to make up my own mind. I knew T'Challa wasn't going to be in it, but I still need to see it for myself. So I still encourage every single one of you, go see Brave New World for yourself and make up your own mind. You might leave thinking the same thing. It's not as bad as what everybody's thinking. You might leave thinking, oh, that's one of the worst Marvel films. You might leave thinking that was actually up there with Winter Soldier. So, you know, no matter what you think, it's what you think, and don't let anybody deter you from thinking what you think. It's your opinion. Nobody can stop your fucking opinion. So I appreciate all of you guys being here. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see every single one of you in the next video. Peace out.